23-year-old against 23-year-old. 4-inch reach advantage for Diaz over the Brazilian Tibau. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC Welterweight division. Introducing first, the man fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist who holds a professional record of 23 wins with 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, Gleison Tibau. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist who holds a professional record of 14 wins with 6 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Stockton, California, Nick Diaz. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee. Nick Diaz from 45 minutes south of ARCO Arena against Gleison Tibau, who's come all the way from Brazil.
Here we go. You ready? You ready? Bring it on!
And here we go. Diaz was already in the center of the octagon before Mazzagatti officially started the fight. Always so unorthodox. Oh, looks for a single leg early, Randy.
Diaz in a low single. Tibau kind of shutting him off. Looking to crawl into a hook here and take Diaz's back. Diaz rolling.
Gleison trying to
Tibau's got Diaz's back here. No anchors yet, no hooks. A little high. Diaz pulls him over the top.
Looking early for a submission attempt.
He's got a Kimura.
Tibau trying to transition, Randy. Diaz extremely comfortable, though, when it gets into a submission battle.
Tibau has a nice Kimura here. He's trying to isolate, get that arm out away from Diaz's body and put pressure on that elbow joint. Oh, he's got it.
Can he finish?
Diaz looking to turn out. Holy cow.
Wow, great job done by Nick Diaz. But still very persistent is Gleison Tibau. 23-2, the real deal. Both very young competitors. Great deal of experience.
Nick Diaz with the closed guard on the bottom.
Both, as I said, Randy, experienced, but Tibau has not fought the same caliber of world-class fighters as Diaz. When you go to Robbie Lawler or Drew Fickett or Diego Sanchez, Joe Riggs, Sean Shirk, Josh Neer, not quite the same arsenal of opponents that Diaz has attacked, that Tibau has attacked.
Well, you know, there's something to be said about a guy who's coming in here in the octagon for his first time in an arena like ARCO Arena, full of people. I mean, the nerves, it can be a bit overwhelming. Be interesting to see how Tibau reacts to that situation. And it's hard to say what kind of competition he had in Brazil. Well, who were the cats that he fought down there to get that 23-2 record?
Looks good so far, though. Working his game plan against Nick Diaz. Went for the early submission, and Nick, of course, was able to roll out of it. The Gracie Jiu-Jitsu brown belt.
Nice counter to Diaz's single leg.
He's had those arms twisted a few times before.
I think so. Very flexible.
Oh, absolutely. Good job, though, looking to pass.
Tibau standing in Diaz's guard, looking to find a way past his feet.
Diaz being overwhelmed early, but not damaged. Close guard, now look again. Way up high. The flexibility of Diaz has always been one of the benefits to his arsenal.
Trying to climb, hold the upper body of Tibau down into his chest. Makes it hard to posture up and punch, and gets his hips out. There's armbar attempt by Diaz.
Looking to finish.
There's the armbar.
Can he do it?
Tibau slipping out.
Nick Diaz, how quickly he transitioned into that submission attempt. That's the game which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's how explosive a submission can be. As explosive, Randy, as a knockout attempt.
Absolutely, just that fast. Gets his hips out, isolates that arm, extends it. Tibau has to roll to counter that submission attempt.
Gives up his back, though.
Tibau on Diaz's back. Is this a ploy to try and reverse the situation by Diaz?
And will that submission attempt a moment ago by Diaz all of a sudden put a little doubt in the mind of this at least seemingly dominant Gleison Tebow all of a sudden saying, hey, maybe I'm not so much in control of this fight. Diaz looking for another opportunity.
Diaz does the reversal, gives up his back, and then ends up on top. This is a nice tactic by Nick Diaz.
Reversal of fortunes indeed. And he wants to close and punish. And those long limbs of Diaz help him in this situation.
Nice grounded pound, postured up.
Half guard, and he's got a great position with Tebow up against the fence.
For the elbow here.
Tebow might be a bit frustrated too.
Diaz standing, bringing in nice shots from a higher elevation.
Diaz continuing with the left hand. Just poking away at Gleison Tebow. This is where he can do some damage, Randy, even in the half guard.
Got the knee right,
yep,
almost
got him
to the
right
mount.
there. Yep.
Tough position against the fence for Tebow to get out of here, and he's taking a good beating.
Diaz with a straight right. Mazzagatti right on top of the action.
There's the elbow.
Nick Diablo Diaz trying to finish it here late in round one. Great job with the posturing, as you said, Randy, giving himself distance to damage. Tebow may make it through round one, though.
10 seconds left.
Diaz trying to finish it. Tebow changes positions.
Tebow still in this.
We're going to head to round two. Great job done in round one by both fighters.
Hold on, go back.
Both anxious to get round number two started.
Both guys can't wait to get to this front of the ring.
Diaz did it again.
There's a shot by Tebow. Double leg.
Wow.
Countered by Diaz.
What a great job done by Nick there. Now he's looking for the single.
Out to the single leg. Nice defense. Going for the Kimura now. Over the back is Diaz.
Nick Diaz trains with David Terrell and Gil Castillo. All the guys at the Cesar Gracie gym. Ground specialist indeed. Always wants to bring it. He says, and I quote, I don't do anything else good, so I fight. He's trained boxing with Rodney Jones. 3 fights against good strikers as a hero, and none other than, not surprisingly, Royce Gracie.
Tebow trying to switch, standing switch, trying to get the Diaz's back. No go.
Likes that strong hand lead, too. Let's see if that comes out of Nick Diaz here. Combination. Started with the left, finished with the straight right. Back in that half guard.
A half shot by Tebow,
yep.
and a cow catcher kind of mowing Tebow over is Nick Diaz. Diaz trying to work his way back into that postured position to land those shots with those long arms. And right back to it.
Again, he's got that right leg postured as you talked about, Randy. So it's not truly a half guard. He's actually anchoring his opponent down with that right knee.
It's called a knee ride.
Knee ride.
It's almost a half mount. It's a knee mount or knee ride position.
Knee ride may be the end of the ride for Gleison Tebow.
Nick landing some good shots here.
Diaz trying to finish here in the second.
Tebow's got to really start thinking about getting out of this position and finding a way to change this.
Got the knee ride again, Randy.
Referee's right on it. Rabbit punches by Diaz. If he put a little more on those.
Not much Gleison Tebow is able to do in this position. He is going to have to improve or he will be defeated. Diaz now works the body. Back up for a second. Tebow looks like he is about done, and it is all over. Nick Diaz wins here in Sacramento.
Mazzagatti saw enough. Tebow unable, even when Nick Diaz let the pressure off for a second to change the position. He's not going to do anything but take more of a beating. Mazzagatti stopped the fight.
You could see it in his eyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Mazzagatti is called to stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 27 seconds of round number 2. For the winner by TKO, Nick Diaz.
Performance. Did he surprise you a little bit right at the start with the Kimura attempt?
No, I knew he'd probably come out and go for stuff right off the bat. I should have been a little more ready for it, though. I came off to a slow start in here due to being discouraged a little bit about knowing I didn't know very much about my opponent, and the timing, training, training didn't go as good as it usually does for these things. So I was a little bit discouraged, and I kind of got to know him while I was in here, kind of, so to speak. So, but I want to thank Cesar Gracie, everybody at the academy for helping me train, Nasser Navaroni from here in Sacramento for helping come get in my corner, all the guys, Justin Bourgeois, Nick Bourgeois, Mike Davis, Chris Quitaquit, Nathan Diaz, everybody for helping me train. You know, all my friends, appreciate it.
Talk me through this Mickey's replay here. Go ahead.
Well, basically, I knew he wasn't getting up, so I just went ahead and took my time, punched a little slower. I didn't want to, overdo it, trying to get a stoppage. I knew I wasn't that desperate for one. He did crank on my arm a little bit, so I didn't know how my arm was. Like I said, I didn't get warmed up as good as I should have coming out, so I wasn't too sure of myself in the first round, but I started feeling better toward the end of that first round.
Ladies and gentlemen, Northern California, Nick Diaz.
Being the UFC heavyweight champ now, you never want to take a fight lightly. Jeff's coming out there and he's trying to get that belt from me.
I'm coming prepared in this fight to take him down or to get him down as many times as possible.
I'm determined to keep this fight standing up no matter what.
My prediction is if I get him down, I'm going to submit him.
I'm going to go out there and do what I'm supposed to do, and that's to knock him out.
There's so many variables that are going to be different this time. We're both different fighters than when we fought last time.
When I fought Matt Hughes the first time, I lost that fight even before I started.
George is telling everybody that I'm in his head, and he lost that fight because the belt was around my waist, and he was been thinking about it. He lost that fight because I was better than him, and I'm better than I was then, and I'm still better than him.
I'm not afraid of Matt Hughes. I respect him, I respect his skill, I respect him as a man, but I'm not afraid of him.
Tonight, we are in beautiful Sacramento, California. The state capital shines down upon ARCO Arena as we get set for UFC 65 Bad Intention. It is sold out. It is dynamic. Not one, but two belts are on the line tonight for the first time ever here in the capital city and here at beautiful ARCO. Irish Jake O'Brien has all the tools, and now he is trained with some of the best. Fresh up preparing for this fight with Team Punishment and Tito Ortiz, he meets Josh Schuckman in a battle of unbeaten heavyweights. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Synergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Science. Heavyweight matchup, the 22-year-old Irish Jake O'Brien against the newcomer Josh Schuckman. Not much else is different, Randy, especially when you look at a heavyweight matchup in which the guys are just about 3 pounds apart.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee, a battle of unbeaten heavyweights here tonight at the ARCO Arena in Sacramento. Irish Jake O'Brien.
Are you ready?
Against Josh Shockman. And here we go. Looking
Right
for the
into the
early
shot.
takedown, yep.
Nice single leg by O'Brien. Using the cage, he's going to stack him in. Try to break this closed guard.
Did you say something about that O'Brien would be wise to try to get this one right away down to the mat?
Yeah, look at this rubber guard. You got Shockman, a boxer, from the bottom using a rubber guard.
There you go, Jake.
Past the guard for a moment, trying to get some control early is Irish Jake O'Brien. Made quick work of Christophe Madou 53 seconds into the second round in his UFC debut. He has the attributes, he has the potential, and only time will tell if O'Brien is truly a candidate for a championship potential somewhere down the road.
Hammer fist,
He's only
Jake.
22 years old, Randy.
Yeah, very young. He's got a lot of life ahead of him.
Working right now inside the guard of Josh Shockman.
There you go, Jake. Elbow.
Trying to bring down some big shots.
Elbow.
He needs to bring his hips in and his head up to create more space so he can hit with more accuracy and bigger punches.
That being said, Shockman doing a good job.
Come on, work, Jake. Stay busy.
Closing the distance.
Using that rubber guard.
Rubber guard again, yes. Oh. Big shots with the left, trying to follow up with the right.
Some hammer hands there by O'Brien.
O'Brien, a wrestler at Purdue, wrestled for 2 years at Purdue. Got out of college and went right into fighting.
There you go, Jake. Elbow. With the pass.
By O'Brien from the top.
Stay busy, Jake.
O'Brien, a three-time
Stay
state
busy.
champion in high school in his wrestling career. And when you're an Indiana boy and you go to wrestle at Purdue, that's pretty good right there.
Yeah, that's real good. Great wrestling program.
Shockman doing a nice job, though. Great flexibility for a man 6'4", 240 pounds.
There you go.
I've seen a lot of guys that size use the rubber guard the way he's using it. I'd like to see him open his guard, use his feet, create some space.
Body, head.
Feet. I think that's his area of strength. And he's not really doing
There you go.
Closing his guard here, he's locked himself into being beat up.
Mazzagatti did it for him. They're back on their feet. Let's see if there's a opportunity for O'Brien to go down to the ground immediately again. Will he look for another shot? Yep. Good
Right
sprawl
in on
that
the
time by
double.
Shockman.
Better takedown defense here by Shockman this time. O'Brien tenacious though. He's second shot. He's right back in on a low single.
Suck it in, Jake.
That's the one thing too, Randy, as you well know, because you had to avoid it
There you go.
your entire career. But when you would go in to shoot, when you would look for the shot, what you wanted to do was avoid getting beaten up at it. So if you're the boxer who doesn't want to go down, you got to punish your opponent every time he looks to take you down.
You absolutely do. You need to lower your level a little, shoot your jab up from a lower posture, and try and make him work through those hands to get to your legs, to get to your hips.
If there's
Come on,
no
get busy,
fear
Jake.
of being punished when you look to take your opponent down, then if your energy stays with you, you're going to continuously look to take your opponent down.
Absolutely. He's just going to continue to shoot. As soon as they move into that range of exchanges, he's going to change levels and drive right in and get on those legs, get on those hips.
Trying to get that distance
Elbow,
with
Jake.
O'Brien. Shockman trying to work from
Get
the bottom.
busy.
But again, as you see, when Shockman is taken down, no attempt to get back up. If he's going to wait all night for the referee to do it, it might take too long.
Now, and he's losing these rounds by spending a round on the bottom. Even if there wasn't a punch thrown, he's probably still losing the round simply by the takedown and then being dominated in position.
Now, this round certainly his belong to Irish Jake O'Brien. Shockman 7-0, O'Brien 8-0, combined 15-0 in their mixed martial arts career.
Stop. Let's stand up.
Back up they come again. But Shockman's got to do something different here, Randy.
Hands up.
See how straight-legged he is. He's standing tall. He needs to lower his level.
Don't drop
a little
your
bit,
hands.
Bend his knees. That's going to allow him, number one, to sprawl on the shot.
Let them hands go,
and two,
Jake.
shoot his punches up at O'Brien's head. So O'Brien has trouble getting under them to get to those legs and hips.
Would the kicks be your first choice, or does that make you vulnerable to be taken down? Good double leg.
Nice, right under the punch, penetrated well, took him right down.
Bring him over here, Jake.
Generally,
You got 51 seconds.
about being taken down. You post it on
Work,
one
Jake.
leg every time you pick a foot up. It's easy to follow that leg back and take your opponent down.
Pull them arms out.
3 for 3, or perhaps 3 for 4
Elbow
on
to
takedown
face.
attempts here in round number 1 for Jake O'Brien.
30 seconds, Jake. Come on, Jake, get busy.
Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. ARCO Arena, Sacramento, California. UFC 65. Mike Goldberg, the Hall of Famer, the natural Randy Couture, the longtime UFC heavyweight and light heavyweight champion. Crowd wants him to work it.
Again, O'Brien not being terribly active here. Shockman doing a good job of trapping him, using his legs well to keep him down chest to chest,
pick it
not
up.
letting him posture up and be terribly effective from the top.
Round number 1 will be in the books. All Jake O'Brien.
Yeah, you won the round. Just a little, give him some more. Give him some more. When you guard, get control first and look to pass. Okay. Look to pass, Bob. You gotta look to pass. Immediately.
He's already looking low for that kick, okay? So go ahead and blast it high. Don't be afraid to blast high. Okay. When you throw it, throw it. Don't do it half. Come on, come on, come on.
Differing messages in each corner, not surprisingly.
Absolutely. Looking for Jake O'Brien to try and pass the guard after he takes him down and work from a better striking position. And they want Shockman to commit to his punches, put a little heat on him, give him something to think about from his feet.
See if he does try to set up for that high kick that his corner talked about.
There's the cross. After high jab, low cross. Try to catch O'Brien coming in. Nice shot by O'Brien. He does a nice pass.
Yeah, he's very tenacious.
He's like a little bulldog. He gets, well, maybe a big bulldog. He gets in there and he's just going to keep driving until he gets where he wants to be.
And this is the thing that now we want to see is one thing is taking your opponent down. Another is then gaining that advantage with the side mount or with the full mount and then finishing the fight. So far we've seen him successful on his takedowns, but he hasn't gone to step 2 or step 3.
Well, he needs to make the transition now to really finding a way to finish the fight from here. He's dominating the position, he's controlling the fight. And he needs to really, the elbows will help him. He's, you know, at some point here, Shockman's spirit is probably going to start to wane a little bit as well.
His corner asking for another elbow, Randy. Irish Jake O'Brien in top position again, but inside the guard of Josh Shockman. And Mazzagatti will stand him up again.
Standing him up a little quicker this time, not letting him stay there quite as long.
Which is going to help the energy of really both fighters, but it's going to give more of a chance to Shockman. The longer it's on the feet, at least we anticipate, the more he's going to try to throw.
Lead right hand by Shockman. Low jab.
O'Brien in the white trunks, Shockman in the green trunks. There's the high kick.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the double leg.
Wow.
Timed it perfectly.
Well, Shockman, as we talked about, as he entered the octagon for the first time, has an original base of boxing. He considers himself even a stand-up fighter. So while O'Brien's trying to learn on his feet, I think Shockman in his career is trying to learn on the ground.
Absolutely.
And learn how to avoid being taken to the ground.
Coming at it from opposite ends here. You know, he's going to have to go back to the drawing board and focus a little more on his takedown defense because he's been taken down pretty easily here tonight. But you know, I think he needs to reconsider what he's doing on the ground too. He's got great flexibility. Use that to create some scrambles and get back to his feet.
All right, guys, stand up.
And again they go. And you pointed out Mazzagatti standing it up a lot more quickly here in round number 2.
He's not letting him lay around down there as much. He wants to see the action picked up. This is in Shockman's favor. He gets a chance to come back up, find a way to land a combination. Makes O'Brien work that much harder to continue to take him down and put him on the ground where he wants to be.
But as I brought up to you in the first round, Randy, not one time when O'Brien has looked for the takedown has Shockman put any type of pressure on him or punished him in any way.
Now there's a nice sprawl, but he's not using a knee, he's not throwing anything, you know, time an uppercut, time a knee. Throw something at him. You know, stick a jab in his face, so at least has to work through and around that jab.
And again, if you miss, at least you put a little doubt in the mind of your opponent that he is going to want to continue to shoot and shoot and shoot.
You got to make him pay somehow.
Second round, 143 remains. Heavyweight matchup, ARCO Arena. Now, at one point, will O'Brien become fatigued from the constant takedowns, or does his cardio look pretty good right now, Randy?
He still looks to be pretty fresh, but he's definitely spending energy having to repeat these takedowns over and over. It's just the 4th time he's going to have to take this fight to the ground. That's a lot of energy. There's a nice right hand.
Let your hands go.
Kind of an unorthodox stance, if you'll notice. Almost a straightforward stance right now for Josh Shockman. I'd almost like to see him angle off a little more, not only because there's less area to punch, but there's less area to take down as well.
Yeah, he's
kind of faced up against him, isn't he?
Standing straight in front of him. He uses a little more footwork. It'd be a lot harder to take down if he was moving a little more. Make him chase you, come after you, and then catch him coming in.
But same position nonetheless.
Right back on his back. Again, O'Brien doing a very nice job of just continuing to drive through and get where he wants to be.
Come on, Jay, get busy.
Final seconds of round 2, and this one undoubtedly is going to go to Jake O'Brien as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 10-9, 10-9 now, I think, for O'Brien. He's controlled the position, he's put the fight on the ground at will. Shockman really ineffective on his feet to land any good combinations or striking. He's going to have to make something drastic happen in the 3rd round here if he wants to get back in this fight.
Jake O'Brien,
lazy jam.
Take down, take down, take down.
All you got to do is he's coming in, all right? He's coming into you. Let the rock.
There's a nice sprawl by Shockman and a second shot. There's another takedown by O'Brien. Again, the sprawl by Shockman. It's a pretty good sprawl. And O'Brien just tenaciously drives through him. He's got the horsepower to finish that double leg.
3rd round, Shockman says he'll bring it. Let's find out. I've seen more guys use body shots here lately. High kick again. Defended each time, though, by O'Brien, keeping his hands up nicely.
He's making contact, but O'Brien's got his hand up nice. It's not really damaging him at all.
Yeah, Shockman's got to unleash here, but then, of course, there's the fear when he unleashes, the timing will be there for O'Brien to look for another takedown. He's looking to change positions and look for the body.
Almost looked like the cup check right there.
Inside cup check. Got him again, single.
Nice timing off the low kick.
There seems to be some hesitation for Shockman to unleash the strikes, unlike what his corner said. Trying to pass guard here in the half guard for the first time. Now this is where I know, Randy, you want to see him step on the leg, pull out the right leg, get the mount, and finish the fight.
Absolutely. Try to pass to a better position here. And I actually don't mind the half guard. He can sit on that bottom leg and posture up, but he's not clearing his head and posturing up to land more. Now there he starts to posture. And more effective elbows, effective strikes. Short little elbows by O'Brien from the top position here.
Nice job, got that arm pinned. Had the left arm pinned for a sec, pardon me, the right arm pinned. With his head and his shoulder, and was trying to pound away a little bit on Shockman. O'Brien is well on his way to unanimous decision victory, unless Shockman can do something here. But the wrestling is a sport, as you well know, champ, is a sport of tenacious ability and the ability to continue to impose your will. And while you say that O'Brien hasn't passed, he has truly 12, 13 minutes into this fight imposed his will the entire time.
Absolutely. He's used a good, very, very good wrestler's base and the intensity that the sport of wrestling tends to breed to continue to drive through his opponent, put him on the ground over and over again, and dominate this fight.
And back up again. The time is now, Warhammer.
He's still very straight-legged when he's throwing his kicks and throwing his punches. He's not committing to them. Think about using more footwork, moving around a little more, bending his knees, and committing to those combinations. If you're going to get taken down, at least make him pay. Land.
Good kick.
Kick to the body. Bit of a slapping kick. Didn't really follow through with his hips. Sounded good. O'Brien seems to have slowed down a little bit. Not as good a shot there, but he manages to follow through with the single and finish it. can't imagine why he'd be tired. What's he had, 13 takedowns on this thing?
He's about 13 of 15. If he were a quarterback right now, that would be a very high efficiency rating.
There's a attempt to jump
a little
over,
bit,
pass.
a little bit. And there's no danger. I mean, he's not putting himself in any danger by looking to improve his position.
Not at all.
He's improving his
give
position.
Give the official a reason to keep him on the ground.
Absolutely, a great point. Because Mazzagati's done a good job of standing him up when needed.
A little more of a butterfly guard on one side here by Shockman.
1 minute remains in this heavyweight matchup.
All right, stop, guys. Stand up.
Well, if you're Josh Shockman, it's time to swing for the fences.
Absolutely. 45 seconds left in this, and he needs to let him go here. He's got nothing to lose. Big double leg.
Wow. And that was a great display of just perfect timing. Shockman was thinking about something, and O'Brien beat him to the punch.
Changed levels, penetrated nicely, got it nice deep and followed through.
And that may be the end of the end, because the beginning of the end was about the third takedown in round number 1.
And Shockman obviously knows a little bit on the ground. I mean, you don't see guys that use their legs effectively this way, but I just think he has to change tactics. He needs to really think about scrambling, creating opportunities to get back to his feet and use his strength, his stand-up.
O'Brien dominates this matchup of unbeaten heavyweights. Bruce Buffer gathering the judges' scorecards. And he re-enters the octagon. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Irish Jake O'Brien.
So Irish Jake O'Brien is 2-0 in the UFC, 9-0 in his mixed martial arts career. The Sandman from Sacramento, James Irvin, hopes to electrify his hometown crowd. Tonight he faces his friend and former training partner in UFC newcomer Hector Ramirez, a battler who loves to just throw down. Our tale of the tape for this light heavyweight matchup is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra-premium energy drink from Science. The Sick Dog, 2 years the elder of the Sandman. James Irvin, 2 inches taller and about an inch reach advantage.
When the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Mario Yamasaki.
Mario Yamasaki, our referee. The beautiful Ariani, signifying that we are set for round number 1 here tonight. Yamasaki will watch closely as Irvin and Ramirez battle here in the UFC, and we are underway. Good buzz here in the building for James the Sandman Irvin.
You know, James, after losing to Stephan Bonner, has kind of recommitted himself. He's working with Gagnon on his striking, Casio Verdek on his BJJ, Mark Munoz on his wrestling skills, and really trying to become a very well-rounded, complete fighter.
Well, as you mentioned, Randy, you've worked with him. He's also trained with Evan Tanner, Quentin Jackson, Tito Ortiz. He's worked out with some of the best of the best.
He knows those are the guys he wants to surround himself with to become a better fighter, to challenge him to get better. Again, it's a matter of survival when you're in an environment like that.
And how many times have you told me you're only as good as the men you train with every day?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
We see the great meteoric rise of talent in a guy like Forrest Griffin because he has pushed himself to a new level.
And the takedown by Ramirez.
And right back up is Irvin. Good battle. These guys are going after each other early. Ramirez again may be the better grappler.
Did a nice job of timing James Irvin's kick and catching his leg.
Irvin goes down.
With a foot sweep
trying
there.
to take his back
He's almost got his back. Irvin back up, using the fence to keep himself up.
Ramirez is very explosive. Tenacious with the leg again.
Rolls to the legs, James Irvin does.
And has side control. Can he keep it though? Looking to take the back.
Irvin trying to scramble, giving up his back. See if he can counter this.
Can he do it? Can he do it? One hook in?
He can't choke him with one hook in, but he may end up in the mount here. Now he's getting the other hook in. Irvin could be in big trouble here.
Wow, Ramirez is really imposing his will early.
Some great scrambles.
Both hooks in. And now
one hook out. Oh, he put it back in. Did a nice job of stepping off.
That's just such a key for leverage, isn't it, Randy?
It anchors your hips to his body and frees your hands up to punch or secure the choke. It's very important. Ramirez is a little high. Irvin may slip out the back door here. He's got to be careful not to give up his arm as he does slip out the back.
Irvin's going to have to get out of some deep water here in the first round. Hector Ramirez making his UFC debut against the Sandman, James Irvin. Ramirez, even though he's got a great dominant position, needs to stay busy and try to continue to finish the fight, and he's doing a good job right here.
He's very high, using his head to post at the mat to keep from falling off the front. And Irvin kind of stuck. He's got to step off a leg, take one of those hooks away, one of those anchors. He may have a shot to get out. He may end up reversing this position if Ramirez gets much higher. And this is a better position for Ramirez.
Yep, absolutely.
Trying to secure the choke. Irvin doing a nice job of hand control.
He's got the right leg straight.
He's not in a lot of trouble here. He's doing a good job of controlling Ramirez's hands.
Back to the position we saw previously, but very high in that position again, Randy.
Very high.
Too high?
Too high to be real effective. If he sucked his hips back and stretched James out, he would have James in a much worse position. But he's allowing James to keep his base, to stay on his knees. There he loses a hook, and out the back door comes James Irvin.
Irvin with a kick.
Irvin no worse for the wear.
Oh, they both go down. Oh, no, Ramirez didn't. Swimming for the fences is the Sandman. Ramirez reaches with a straight left. High kick again. And Irvin slipped on both of his high kicks.
Every time he throws that high kick, he's really off balance. He falls down. Not a lot of defensive skills being shown there, but a lot of aggression, a lot of offense. Somebody's bleeding a little bit. It looks to be James Irvin has a small cut on his right eye.
Irvin going to try to get back up. Let's see.
Ramirez standing out of the guard, looming over James Irvin.
Yeah, I don't think Ramirez wants to let him get back up. See if he takes that step back and says, all right, let's throw some more. No.
If Irvin lets him pass, he's going to turn and give up his back again. Not really what you want to do there. Ramirez pounding away from the back position. No hooks. 10 seconds left.
Irvin should get to the second round. Standing up. He's looking for a spinning back fist. Yep. Right. Spinning back fist with a right. And the first round comes to conclusion. You could see he was setting that spinning back fist up.
He wound up with that bad boy.
I saw that one coming from San Francisco.
James Irvin looks to be a fatigued fighter right now. Let's see how he recovers in this minute. Ramirez looks to be the fresher fighter at this point. Torrential pace there at the end of the fight.
Punches, then kick. He sees that kick coming from a mile away. All right? What do we work on when you're on your back? What do we work on? Push head and elbow, okay? Don't give up your back. I know you're comfortable there, but don't give it up.
So you sink it in. Wrist control, choke with the other hand. Don't try to lock it up too soon.
You'll see the replay here. Big high kick, loses his footing, falls down. Ramirez falling away as well. Another high kick, slipping to his back, right back up. Both guys willing to stand toe-to-toe and bang, let him go. Hands at the waist, slinging the leather.
Very impressed with Hector Ramirez as he fights in the UFC for the first time. Second round, good friends. Men who have trained together. Not afraid to exchange, but I'll tell you what, Irvin has to quit giving up his back. Sooner or later, Ramirez is going to catch him. At least one would imagine.
Yeah, very dangerous to give up your back.
Especially, Randy, as he becomes more fatigued.
When you're seeing some athletes do this to create an opportunity to reverse and get on the top. David Loazo, very, very good at it. Kyle Uno, very good. You'll give your back when you're on the ground. So the guy takes it and then they reverse him and end up on top. But James Irvin's not really being very effective if that's his goal.
And Ramirez really never was close to catching him. But he might catch him with fists here. Uppercut.
Ramirez letting the combinations go. He's got Irvin's against the fence.
Oh, good body shots. And Irvin answers with a right kick.
Nice hard tie kick by Irvin.
Different approach here. Straight left. Caught him in the nose. He caught him there. Ramirez's hands look good. His grappling was good. Well-rounded fighter out of East LA. This one might be a little bit like Scott Smith and Pete
yeah, they're
South.
getting after it for sure. Great pace. Both guys getting after it. A little bit of reckless abandon out there.
Good kicks by James Irvin. Yeah, I would agree with the reckless abandon, Randy.
Let's go.
Oh,
nice,
caught him again.
Nice left hook by Ramirez.
Took that step forward to reposition himself nicely for the hook.
I have a sneaking suspicion Ganyao from Fairtex is going to be giving James Irvin a hard time about these kicks. Every time he throws a kick, his hands come down, and Ramirez makes him pay.
Yep. That's rule number one. Hand comes down and comes right back up. Superman.
Nice Superman punch.
And there's the smile. So now they're sizing each other up, and Ramirez isn't thinking about a takedown.
Yeah, he was winning the stand-up battle. He had a 10-punch flurry on the fence over there.
Looked a lot like the finish of Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, didn't it?
On him.
Trying to mix up the strikes now is James Irvin.
If I was Ramirez, every time he throws that kick, drops him, puts his hands up, he thinks the fight's over. The referee doesn't step in. Here's the straight right hand by James Irvin, right on the button.
Oh, look at, boom, wham! Good night, Hector.
A lazy left hook by Ramirez. Kick to the body, big elbow, lazy left hook, right over the top. James Irvin with the straight right hand drops him.
He knew it right away, too. It's like a home run hitter. You don't even have to walk away. Just walk your way down to first base. An emotional James Irvin perseveres and wins here in front of family and friends in his hometown of Sacramento. They are on their feet here at the ARCO Arena. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 36 seconds of round number 2. For the winner by TKO, James the Sandman Irvin.
Kickboxer Anthony Hardunk can be destructive with his leg kicks, dominant with his hands. Tonight he hopes to tear through the tank. Sherman Pendergast, as the Militich product, makes his UFC debut. Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight matchup brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Science. Sherman Pendergast, the American, at 39 years old, set to make his UFC debut. Anthony Hardunk, at 30 years old, the Dutchman, set to make his UFC debut. But although he is 3 inches taller, he has no reach advantage.
When the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Big John McCarthy.
Or perhaps not quite as big, John McCarthy.
Yeah,
down
Big
about
John
30 pounds or so.
Slimming down to 238.
Wow, about Pendergast's size. And Hardunk as well. Set for a heavyweight matchup here at the ARCO Arena.
You ready? Let's get it on!
Big John gets us started. The tank pulls his way immediately. Watch the knees, though.
Nice tight clinch.
That's what.
No, nice knees.
Push down on the head.
Double legs, trying to pull those legs out of Hardunk. Hardunk posting the head.
Next out by the Tank. As I mentioned, Anthony Hardunk has been working very diligently on his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with Rickson Gracie. So it's not so much that he wants to be here, but he can handle it, perhaps. Looking to pass quickly.
Guard. He had some nice elbows from the bottom, Hardunk had. Gas in the half guard.
Pendergast looking to damage early. The longer it's on the ground, the better it is for Pendergast, back into a full guard. And this is where the Tank excels, though, ground and pound, even in the guard. Now he's got some work.
Climbing legs.
Yep.
Hardunk climbing with his legs, using his knees now.
And up against the fence, Randy. Takes a little hip away, doesn't it?
Yeah, Pendergast stacking him into the fence, which limits Hardunk's mobility on the bottom. Using that forearm to kind of stretch him out and flatten him out.
It's all about being able to do it all this day and age in the UFC.
If you have a glaring weakness, somebody's going to point it out to you, and it's not generally very fun.
Generally in the first 30 seconds or so. Unless you get to their glaring weakness first. And this is a big man, the Tank, working on Hardunk and working on his cardio as well as using a little bit of his own. Got to continue to work, though, Big John tells him, or they will stand it up.
Underhook by Hardunk here. Again, using the butterfly guard. Back to a closed guard position.
Hardunk doing a good job now closing down. Hard for Pendergast to do much damage when he's being controlled like he is here.
Referee calling for more action. Look for him to stand this up here if things don't start happening.
Trying to post up again.
There's a post armbar attempt. Hardunk looking to get his hips out.
Climb the leg, climb the leg. Climb, pull his head down, keep the head down, pull the head, keep his head down.
Pulling down on that head though, trying to close the distance so the Pendergast cannot do damage. That's got to be an uncomfortable position with your head jammed into the fence.
Surprisingly, you don't feel it so much in the heat of things, but later he'll be going, what am I doing?
Especially when you're watching it later.
Oh, there, he kicks him away. Oh, almost up.
Sherman's in a good spot here. Sherman's already gassed a little bit. With the hands on with the legs, that tells you right away.
Taking a fight on 2 weeks' notice is not the most optimal thing to do for your conditioning.
All right, they're going to let him up.
And this is in Hardunk's favor, especially if Sherman is a little tired here. Oh, big stiff jab. That is going to leave a mark.
And the high kick. This is where the kickboxer could excel.
Sherman is in trouble here.
Being picked apart by Anthony Hardunk.
Nice straight jab.
Down he goes, and it is all over. It is all over. Anthony Hardunk finishes the Tank, Sherman Pendergast. Wow.
Chopping leg kick. Straight jab setups the right leg kick. Look at this replay. Stiff left hand, followed by the chopping leg kick, right in the seam of the pants, right in the nerve. Leg goes out.
That's
again, right between the gloves, and follows it with the nice right leg kick.
That is exactly how you slow down the Tank.
Fight, man, you brought it. I'll bring you back.
Pendergast had the ground game working. He was trying to damage Hardunk, but you could see fatigue set in when he was working on the ground. And the minute the fight came back up to the feet, Hardunk was fresh enough, and Pendergast was gassed just a little bit, and Hardunk felt that. And so he had no fear of being taken down again, as he was able to strike with great efficiency. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John McCarthy has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 15 seconds of the very first round. For the winner by knockout, Anthony Hardunk.
The Dutchman destroys the Tank in his UFC debut. The kid from the streets of Stockton will undoubtedly feel right at home tonight. At home here in Sacramento, Nick Diaz will be challenged by tough Brazilian newcomer Gleison Tibau in a battle of talented 23-year-olds. Our tale of the tape for this welterweight matchup brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Science. 23-year-old against 23-year-old. 4-inch reach advantage for Diaz over the Brazilian Tibau.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee. Nick Diaz from 45 minutes south of ARCO Arena against Gleison Tibau, who's come all the way from Brazil.
All right, guys, here we go. You ready? You ready? Bring it on!
And here we go. Diaz was already in the center of the octagon before Mazzagatti officially started the fight. Always so unorthodox. Oh, looks for a single leg early, Randy.
Diaz in a low single. Tibau kind of shutting him off. Looking to crawl into a hook here and take Diaz's back. Diaz rolling.
Gleison trying to
Tibau's got Diaz's back here. No anchors yet, no hooks. A little high. Diaz pulls him over the top.
Looking early for a submission attempt.
He's got a Kimura.
Tibau trying to transition, Randy. Diaz extremely comfortable, though, when it gets into a submission battle.
Tibau has a nice Kimura here. He's trying to isolate, get that arm out away from Diaz's body and put pressure on that elbow joint. Oh, he's got it.
Can he finish?
Diaz looking to turn out. Holy cow.
Wow, great job done by Nick Diaz. But still very persistent is Gleison Tibau. 23-2, the real deal. Both very young competitors.
Close
Great
guard.
deal of experience.
Nick Diaz with the closed guard on the bottom.
Both, as I said, Randy, experienced, but Tibau has not fought the same caliber of world-class fighters as Diaz. When you go to Robbie Lawler or Drew Fickett or Diego Sanchez, Joe Riggs, Sean Shirk, Josh Neer, not quite the same arsenal of opponents that Diaz has attacked, that Tibau has attacked.
Well, you know, there's something to be said about a guy who's coming in here in the octagon for his first time in an arena like ARCO Arena, full of people. I mean, the nerves, it can be a bit overwhelming. Be interesting to see how Tibau reacts to that situation. And it's hard to say what kind of competition he had in Brazil. Well, who were the cats that he fought down there to get that 23-2 record?
Looks good so far, though. Working his game plan against Nick Diaz. Went for the early submission, and Nick, of course, was able to roll out of it, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu brown belt.
Nice counter to Diaz's single leg.
He's had those arms twisted a few times before.
I think so. Very flexible.
Oh, absolutely. Good job, though, looking to pass.
Tibau standing in Diaz's guard, looking to find a way past his feet.
Diaz being overwhelmed early, but not damaged. Close guard, now look again. Way up high. The flexibility of Diaz has always been one of the benefits to his arsenal.
Trying to climb, hold the upper body of Tibau down into his chest, makes it hard to posture up and punch, and gets his hips up. There's armbar attempt by Diaz.
Looking to finish.
There's the armbar.
Can he do it?
Tibau slipping out.
Nick Diaz, how quickly he transitioned into that submission attempt. That's the game which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's how explosive a submission can be. As explosive, Randy, as a knockout attempt.
Absolutely, just that fast. Gets his hips out, isolates that arm, extends it. Tibau has to roll to counter that submission attempt.
Gives up his back, though.
Tibau on Diaz's back. Is this a ploy to try and reverse the situation by Diaz?
And will that submission attempt a moment ago by Diaz all of a sudden put a little doubt in the mind of this at least seemingly dominant Gleison Tibau, all of a sudden saying, hey, maybe I'm not so much in control of this fight. Diaz looking for another opportunity.
Diaz does the reversal, gives up his back, and then ends up on top. This is a nice tactic by Nick Diaz.
Reversal of fortunes indeed. And he wants to close and punish. And those long limbs of Diaz helping in this situation.
Nice grounded pound, postured up.
Half guard, and he's got a great position with Tibau up against the fence.
For the elbow here.
Tibau might be a bit frustrated too.
Diaz standing, bringing in nice shots from a higher elevation.
Diaz continuing with the left hand. Just poking away at Gleison Tebow. This is where he can do some damage, Randy, even in the half guard.
He's got a knee right, almost to the mount.
There. Yep.
Tough position against the fence for Tebow to get out of here, and he's taking a good beating.
Diaz with a straight right. Mazzagatti right on top of the action.
There's the elbow.
Nick Diablo Diaz trying to finish it here late in round 1. Great job with the posturing, as you said, Randy, giving himself distance to damage. Tebow may make it through round 1, though.
10 seconds left.
Diaz trying to finish it. Tebow changes positions.
Tebow still in this.
We're going to head to round 2. Great job done in round 1 by both fighters.
Hey, look at he's done for. He doesn't know.
Here's the Kimura attempt, trying to pull the arm out and isolate it. Hyper extend that elbow. The extreme flexibility of Nick Diaz, using his leg to counter and not allow Tebow to move his head away. Here's the armbar by Diaz, rolling him over, extending the elbow with his hips. Tebow just slipping it and turning out at the last second. Great submission attempts by both guys. The ground and pound from the knee ride of Nick Diaz here, using those long arms.
Well, look at the determination on the face of Diaz.
Hold on, go back.
Both anxious to get round number 2 started.
Both guys can't wait to get to the center of the ring.
Diaz did it again.
There's a shot by Tebow. Double leg.
Wow.
Countered by Diaz.
What a great job done by Nick there. Now he's looking for the single.
The single leg. Nice defense. Going for the Kimura now, over the back is Diaz.
Diaz trains with David Terrell and Gil Castillo, all the guys at the Cesar Gracie gym. Ground specialist indeed. Always wants to bring it. He says, and I quote, "I don't do anything else good, so I fight." He's trained boxing with Rodney Jones. 3 fights against good strikers. As a hero, and none other than, not surprisingly, Royce Gracie.
Tebow trying to switch, standing switch, trying to get the Diaz's back. No go.
Likes that strong hand lead, too. Let's see if that comes out of Nick Diaz here. Combination. Started with the left, finished with the straight right. Back in that half guard.
A half shot by Tebow, and a cow catcher kind of mowing Tebow over is Nick Diaz. Diaz trying to work his way back into that postured position to land those shots with those long arms. And right back to it.
Again, he's got that right leg postured as you talked about, Randy. So it's not truly a half guard. He's actually anchoring his opponent down with that right knee.
It's called a knee ride. It's almost a half mount. It's a knee mount or knee ride position.
Knee ride may be the end of the ride for Gleison Tebow.
Nick landing some good shots here. Tebow's got to really start thinking about getting out of this position and finding a way to change this.
Got the knee right again, Randy.
Referee's right on it. Rabbit punches by Diaz. If you put a little more on those.
Not much Gleison Tebow is able to do in this position. He is going to have to improve or he will be defeated. Diaz now works the body. Back up for a second. Tebow looks like he is about done, and it is all over. Nick Diaz wins here in Sacramento.
Mazzagatti saw enough. Tebow unable, even when Nick Diaz let the pressure off for a second to change the position. He's not going to do anything but take more of a beating. Mazzagatti stopped the fight.
You could see it in his eyes. Sometimes you mentally submit before you actually submit.
Yeah, that was definitely a mental letdown there. He broke. He just felt, lost. He couldn't get out of the position.
And the crowd here loves the kid from Stockton, just 45 minutes south.
What happened with that as we get out of this round?
See the replay here, the beginning and the end for Nick Diaz. Left hook, little right uppercut. Cow catcher throws him down, right back to the common position we've seen here, this knee ride, postured up, landing the big punches, bringing him down on T-bow.
Diaz is the victor. As he finishes Gleison T-bow here in round number 2. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Mazzagatti has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 27 seconds of round number 2. For the winner by TKO, Nick Diaz.
In the lightweight division, the Ultimate Fighter 2 welterweight winner Joe Daddy Stevenson dropped 15 pounds and soon thereafter destroyed Yves Edwards in his lightweight debut. Tonight, it is Mishima, a showman from Japan, trying to steal the show from the rising star. Our tale of the tape here from ARCO Arena, brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from science. The 24-year-old Joe Stevenson, 10 years younger than the Japanese fighter Mishima. Both are 5'7". There is a slight reach advantage for Joe Stevenson.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Mario Yamasaki.
Set to begin here at ARCO Arena, beautiful Sacramento, California.
There you go, then. Are you ready?
Joe Stevenson.
Are you ready?
Dokkan Joe Nasuke Mishima. And we are underway. Very unorthodox, as I mentioned, so Stevenson has to stay aware. Over the top, Mishima early.
To the clinch.
There's the judo throw.
Nice lateral drop by Mishima.
Little clinch. Something I've seen a guy named Randy Couture do about 1 million times.
Stevenson got there first, but allowed Mishima to a guillotine attempt here by Joe.
Finish early.
Oh, he's got it tight too. He's sunk in.
Closed guard as well.
Amazing. Mishima trying to pull his head out of there. Very tight guillotine here by Joe. Mishima's face turning red.
Extending the whole body. Nice job
picks him up and slams him down, but that just makes it tighter.
Joe may finish it right here. Mishima is in trouble.
Holy moly, what's keeping him going there? He is bright red.
Now. Stevenson pulls it up. Great job done by Mishima.
We got a warrior here, Mishima. That was a very tight guillotine. Nice pass by Mishima.
Trying to get to a lateral position. Side control. And you know what? Stevenson expended a lot of energy trying to close off Mishima.
He certainly did. It's a lot of energy in the arm, squeezing the head there, applying his hips and trying to get that choke. Here he's going to go for the guillotine again.
Who does that gas more
Nice
early?
Sweep.
The chokey or the choker?
Well, it works on both guys differently. Obviously, Mishima struggling for air for quite a long time, and probably more of a blood choke than a wind choke. Joe spending the energy in his arms. Your forearms get pumped. You got to shake them out. It's hard to recover for a minute or so.
He still looks like he's trying to work it, though, every opportunity, grabbing the head of Mishima.
Using his feet well, a very dynamic guard from the bottom is Joe Stevenson. Mishima is showing some great skills on top, too. Keeps trying to pass, move to a better position. Both guys very active on the ground.
UFC 66, Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz. They will meet for the light heavyweight title.
Another guillotine. There's the tap.
And it is all over. It is all over. Joe Stevenson finishes Mishima.
He stuck his head back in there. Joe went for the guillotine again. Got it nice and tight. It looked like he tried to use it as a reversal. That sunk it in tight. Mishima had the tap the second time.
Continuously went towards that choke and finish.
Here's the replay. The butterfly guard. He comes over the head, uses it to elevate and roll, sinks the choke in. Very prominent tap. Very tight guillotine choke by Joe Stevenson.
Joe Stevenson, impressive. Rolling through Mishima again at 155. Joe Stevenson, now 3-1 in the UFC, and impressively finishes Mishima here tonight. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 7 seconds of the very first round. For the winner by tap out due to a guillotine choke, Joe Daddy Stevenson.
2 minutes and 7 seconds. There was once a time when many believed that Frank Mir would be a dominant heavyweight champion. Then the motorcycle accident and lots of doubts. Tonight is a crossroads for Frank Mir. Will he excel once again, or will Brandon Vera reveal the truth that Mir's time has passed him by? Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight showdown brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Zions. Frank Mir, 27 years old, much heavier than Brandon the Truth Vera, who is 2 years older. And it's that weight that Mir wants to make Vera feel tonight, to wear down the smaller opponent, who truly, if he didn't eat as much, could be at 205 pounds.
When the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee, heavyweight matchup. Same theme as with GSP and Matt Hughes later. The past, I guess, in this case, though, not so much the present. Frank Mir, against whom many believe is the future, Brandon Vera. Will a small torch be passed tonight? Mir takes the center of the octagon quickly. Leading with the right. Southpaw stance. Straight kick by Vera.
Boy, it's apparent to me right away that Mir's been working on his stand-up skills.
No question, and he took the center of the octagon, as you taught me many years ago, Randy, kind of making that statement.
Oh, nice left hook by Brandon Vera.
Brandon Vera's hands are absolutely tremendous.
Big straight right, another one. Tie clinch, watch the knees.
That one hurt him. Mir was shaken, and it could be over quickly. Mir is in trouble early. That knee rocked him. Vera works out a ton with
some blood coming out of the nose of Frank Mir here. That knee hit him right on the button.
Many consider Rob
he is in deep trouble here. He's getting
he's bloodied up.
A crucifix here. Both arms isolated. Brandon can kind of posture here. Mir doing a good job of bucking and getting out of this situation. If I was Brandon, he needs to stand up here. Mir's going to get real dangerous.
Mazzagatti on top of it. It is all over. It is all over. Brandon Vera has defeated Frank Mir. And it started with a huge knee.
Started with that straight right hand. He doubled up on it, went to the tie clinch. Knee on the button.
What a statement made by Brandon Vera.
Let's take a look at this replay. Straight right hand right down the pipe.
Bam.
Wham! Goes again for the second one. Stands him up with the straight right. Second right to the tie clinch. Here's the ground and pound. Controlling the underhook on the top side, landing the nice shots. Referee's seen enough.
Wow. You know, one thing that needs to be said, though, is Brandon Vera is so good that Frank Mir, although it didn't last long, could be a great Frank Mir tonight, but Brandon Vera could just be better at this present day. At least he looks so here. Here's the huge knee. Bam! Absolutely rocking Frank Mir. That was the middle of the end. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Mazzagatti has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 9 seconds of the very first round. For the winner by TKO, Brandon the Truth Vera.
Time for a light heavyweight matchup here. Italian-born Alessio Sakara is at the ARCO Arena. He's traveled from Rome to Rio in quest of mastering all the skills needed to dominate in the octagon. Tonight, he welcomes on short notice Militich product Drew McFedry, described by many as a bigger version of ruthless Robbie Lawler. Tail of the tape for this light heavyweight matchup brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Zions. Sicaro, Italian-born, now fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. 3 years younger than the Iowa native, Drew McFedries.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Mario Yamasaki.
The beautiful Allie Stewart working the octagon here tonight. Mike Goldberg, the natural.
Go,
Randy
gentlemen.
Couture, glad to be
ready?
with you. Joe Rogan on assignment, doing some comedy.
Come on.
Starting out early, McFedries in the white trunks, Sakara in the dark trunks. Sakara with all the tattoos.
Southpaw stance with McFedries.
Good job done by McFedries early, and he does like to swing for the fences.
And he gets right in there.
Wow. And you know what? He does swing like a Robbie Lawler. You can see. No hesitation at all. High kick, swing and a miss. Sakara's okay with this, though, Randy. I think he doesn't mind playing around with the hands a little bit, does he?
No, I don't think he minds. He's actually being a little more tentative than I expected him to be here. McFedries coming out being the aggressor, and I didn't really expect that.
Good clinch. You know what, the clinch, I think, brought on new meaning when we saw Anderson Silva defeat Rich Franklin.
Yeah, I think that would impress everybody.
Wow.
Most people's estimation is that Rich is the bigger, stronger fighter, will dominate that clinch position. McFedries hurts him right there.
Wow. Good start for McFedries, trying to overwhelm Sakara.
Sakara in trouble here. McFedries putting it on him.
Can't kick it down the opponent to the head. Can't take a shot at the body, but they come right back up to the feet. And a good job by McFedries to recognize that, because you think for a second, just instinct takes over, Randy, and you stop yourself and you say, no, I don't want to lose a point here.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta operate within the rules and train for those, and that training is very important.
Stepping forward. Ducking down is Sakara. He likes to duck down and change positions. Could be vulnerable to an uppercut from McFedries there. Look at that. Every time, Randy, see how he ducks down trying to change positions?
Now Sakara's starting to put a little more pressure on McFedries, moving forward. Body shots, combinations.
Now with the left, stepping forward.
McFedries coming
down
back.
with the left hook. Nice straight right flying.
Nice straight right hand by Sakara.
Pushed aside by McFedries. McFedries looks for the uppercut there.
I believe we're well acquainted now.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, nice combinations.
Sakara looking body shot. Now the knee in the clinch. Caught him. Straight left. Body shot again.
Sakara working the body and then coming upstairs, mixing in a knee. Why is he trying to take this kid down? He's dominating against the fence.
Can't ask him right.
I'm not understanding the tactics there.
Totally agree. McFedries started out early. McFedries asking for his mouthpiece. Great job done, Mario Yamasaki. We were at a moment where there could be a moment where no one had the advantage. So the mouthpiece is delivered.
Good place to stop that.
Yeah,
mouthpiece
absolutely.
not only protects his teeth, but also keeps him from breaking his jaw if he gets hit with a good shot.
So he got the mouthpiece back, and here we go. Back to live action. Tim Sylvia, Jeff Monson. Heavyweight title fight later tonight. Main event of the evening. Welterweight title fight later tonight.
Nice
George
kick.
St-Pierre, Matt Hughes.
Nice little inside kick by McFedries, and Sakara makes him pay with a straight right hand.
See now again.
Left hook. Doubles it up.
Cross. Love how he steps into that left hook. Changes positions, gets the head settled in, steps around the block.
Body
and
lock.
down they go.
McFedries, nice body lock.
Now we do understand why McFedries took it to the ground, because Sakara was getting the better of the stand-up game.
Actually, he was hurting him. He hit him with 2 left hooks and was looking for a third.
But now he's back up.
Hanston.
No points gained or lost in that exchange.
Sakara doing a nice job of surviving, getting right back up to his feet. See if he continues to dominate the stand-up here. This last minute has been all Sakara. Again, loading up with the right hand. Nice right hand.
Again.
That stood up McFedries right there. Left hook follows.
You see all the boxing background of Sakara. He's happy to be in a battle like this.
Well, he really has to be careful bending over the way that he does.
I mentioned that earlier. He is so vulnerable to an uppercut there, Randy.
Or a knee. He's going to bend over right into a knee and eat one.
And McFedries thought about it before. There's the uppercut.
McFedries looking a little wearier. See, what is this?
Wow, and down goes Sakara.
It's just the time I think McFedries looks weary. Sakara lays down. I don't understand it. Taking a beating here.
Is McFedries, and it is all over.
Something happened.
McFedries
understand. I didn't see anything happen, but all of a sudden, Sakara lays down. McFedries comes down on top and starts teeing off on him. Let's take a look at the replay and see if we can see anything here to Sakara. He looks to be pressuring in. This was with a little uppercut and then a left hand. Still, and there he lays down. I'm not sure, those punches didn't look that clean. Nice uppercut, maybe it was the uppercut. Followed by the straight left. Sakara just lays down, and this is the end of the fight. Ground and pound, big shots. Sakara going fetal.
And Randy, we both talked about it. Sakara, the way he ducks down to change positions makes him very vulnerable to the uppercut or the knee, as you pointed out.
Absolutely, he got caught with a good one, evidently.
And you know what? I almost thought that if it got to the second round, Miletich and Spencer Fisher would mention that, but McFedries so well trained, it didn't have to go to that point. Instead, he finished it in the first. Great debut for Drew McFedries. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 7 seconds of the very first round. For the winner by TKO, Drew McFedries.
Getting set for the first of two title fights here tonight. The heavyweight belt on the line. It is Sylvia and Monson, just moments away. I will tell you this quite simply, no one enjoys or embraces being a UFC champion more than Tim the Maniac Sylvia. The rumor is he sleeps with his UFC belt. I will tell you one thing, he has beaten Arlovsky twice, he has overcome a broken arm. Tonight he wants to overcome the great ground game of Jeff Monson.
You're in that ring and you know that you possess the power to make somebody go to sleep and forget about, 10 to 15 seconds of their life that they can never regain.
Wow! Tim Sylvia with a head kick.
I just like to stand up and fight. I think that's more exciting, and I feel much better when I knock somebody out. That's just what I like to do. I've done it several times in the UFC, and I plan on doing it some more.
Got him. Oh, he got rocked. Right hand. Caught him again.
Arlovsky's a tough dude, and we went 5 rounds, and I beat the hell out of him all 5 rounds.
There is a guy out there that thinks he's pretty tough. He's Jeff Monson. I think you did a wrong thing tonight by winning, because now you got to face me, and you're in trouble, boy.
The Snowman!
Monson's an animal. That guy is so strong. He was going for a choke here. He might go to sleep. He's tapping.
Jiu-Jitsu. I'm known as a Jiu-Jitsu fighter, and the reason is because that's my specialty.
And a takedown.
I'm coming prepared in this fight to take him down or to get him down as many times as possible.
The only chance he has of winning this fight is getting into the ground. He knows that, and so do I.
With Tim being 6'8", it probably poses some problems.
I have a huge size advantage with Jeff Monson, probably about 10-inch reach.
If I get him down, his length comes to a disadvantage.
I'm determined to keep this fight standing up no matter what.
If I get him down, I'm going to submit him.
I'm going to go out there and do what I'm supposed to do, and that's to knock him out.
He definitely loves that heavyweight belt. Tim the Maniac Sylvia. And it's not like tonight is a night off for Sylvia, but I know he's glad Arlovsky is in his past.
Absolutely. I mean, to have the trilogy that they've had and knock each other out and a 5-round battle the last time they fought. I'm always happy that's over with.
Why does everybody seem to doubt the skills of Tim Sylvia and just say, well, the only reason he wins is because he's so big?
Well, I think if you look at him, he doesn't look that athletic. He's a little soft, but I'm telling you what, there is not a harder working guy in the heavyweight division. He will flat outwork anybody.
You know something about wrestling, something about submissions. We both know that Jeff Monson is as good as it gets at that game.
This guy is a world champion in submission. He's also a very, very good collegiate wrestler. He's got a fantastic double leg, and that's going to be his mission tonight, to find a way to get the 6'8" banging Tim Sylvia on the ground, and that's now no easy task.
An 11-inch difference of these two fighters. I think, Randy, it's a challenge for both men.
Absolutely. It's a challenge for Jeff to deal with Tim's height and his range to get through his hands. It's also a challenge for Tim to deal with the shorter, stockier guy who's going to get under him and get to his legs. It goes both ways.
If it goes to the ground, many believe it'll be Munson. If it stays on the feet, many believe it'll be Sylvia. I know one thing, believe what you will, the fight is set. Jeff Monson, very strong, has worked diligently on his boxing skills and truly in this matchup lacks no confidence that he will walk away with the heavyweight belt.
He literally could be one takedown away from the heavyweight championship of the world right here. And I mean, he has no intention of trying to box it out with Tim Sylvia, but he's got to have boxing skills and engage Tim Sylvia if he wants to get close enough to take him down.
Jeff the Snowman Monson has won 16 fights in a row. His last loss was August of 2003. He's a very political, socio-economic dude who comes from a middle-class background and wants to make a statement inside the octagon here tonight. The Snowman set for his long-awaited title shot. To get it, he must take it away, or I would say rip it from around the waist of our champion.
Can you handle the pain? Let the truth be known. Savage's reign, better than the respect, the baddest man in the game. I will fly over my enemies, ride or die. And I'm a rider, I can't hide my violent tendencies. I won't try, 'cause I'm a fighter.
Randy, I've talked to Tim Sylvia extensively over the last few days, and he is so relaxed, embracing every moment, and which he has in his final preparation for this fight. He is ready, he is confident, and I think if you saw him on a Thursday in Bettendorf at the 7-Eleven, he'd probably be wearing his heavyweight belt.
I have rarely seen him when he wasn't wearing it. We tease him that he comes to these events with bed fuzzies on it because he sleeps in it. All in good fun. He is a very, very proud heavyweight champion, and I know he's done everything in his power to prepare for this match with Jeff Monson, and I think that's where that relaxation comes from. It's confidence.
Here's what he told me. He said he is going to sprawl until Monson's energy starts to slow a little bit. So early on, it's all about the sprawl. No kicks, at least he hopes not to unleash any, till the second or third round because he doesn't want to make that leg vulnerable. And you ask about the 11-inch reach advantage, the 11-inch height differential. He said he has really adjusted his stance, almost like Chuck did against you, Randy, to get lower, to work the legs a little bit differently so that he's not so much punching down, but trying to punch at least somewhat vertically, somewhat evenly with the much shorter Jeff Monson.
I think that's exactly what we talked about earlier. You have to adjust your stance when you're dealing with a wrestler that can get under your punches, and his whole tactic is to get to your hips and legs and put you on the ground. At 6'8", that's even more of a challenge for Tim Sylvia. It's got to be uncomfortable adjusting your fighting style and your punching style with that bent, crouched over position and generate the same kind of power that you're used to generating. But I'm sure that he's been diligent and he's prepared to do that here tonight.
Only the second man ever to wear the UFC heavyweight belt on 2 occasions. The other one is sitting next to me, the Hall of Famer, Randy the Natural Couture. Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight title fight is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Zions. The champion, 30 years old, 6'8", 262.5 pounds. The challenger, the Snowman, 33 years old, 5'9", 237.5 pounds. Not only 11 inches difference in height, but a 10-inch reach advantage for the champion, Tim Sylvia. Here is the official introduction for this heavyweight title fight from none other than Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC Championship bout is sponsored by Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor, the official beer of the UFC. Mickey's Gets Done, and Amp Mobile, more mobile than you're used to. And the Marines, the few, the proud, the Marines. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the co-main event of the evening. 5 rounds of fighting for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist who holds a professional record of 24 wins with 5 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 237.5 pounds. Fighting out of Olympia, Washington, Jeff the Snowman Monson. And now introducing the UFC champion, fighting out of the red corner. This man is an MFS elite fighter. He holds a professional record of 24 wins with 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 262.5 pounds. Fighting out of Davenport, Iowa, the reigning, defending UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the Maniac, Tim Sylvia. When the action begins, our referee in charge is Big John McCarthy.
All right, gentlemen, for the UFC Heavyweight Championship in the world, you receive your instructions in the locker room. Do you have any questions from the challenger? Any questions from the champion? Step back, touch gloves. Best of luck.
It's David versus Goliath 3,000 years later. We know how that one ended. Sylvia hopes this one doesn't end in a similar fashion. Tim Sylvia, the champion. Jeff Monson, the challenger. Sold out ARCO Arena. The best in the business. John McCarthy, our referee, and this title fight is underway.
Sylvia right out to the center of the octagon. Look for Tim to use his jab to keep Jeff off of him and to set up that right hand.
How
There's
long till he
leg.
goes for the first shoot?
Big sprawl.
Good sprawl by Sylvia. 0 for 1 for Monson.
There's the right hand.
Jeff wants to duck under and shoot. And another sprawl, just as Sylvia promised. Monson holding on to that left leg.
Incredibly strong is Jeff Monson. He will crank this leg in. If Tim rests his knees on the mat and takes that weight off of Jeff for a second, he will crawl to that leg and end up in half guard. Monson's very good down here. He's very tricky. Trying to crawl his legs around and get a hold of Tim Sylvia's leg with his own legs.
Tim told me this morning, first goal, obviously, get back up. Right now, Monson doing a great job. Tim thinking more about getting up than punishing Monson in this situation.
Position first. He needs to stay out of being on the bottom. And so very, very smart by Tim Sylvia. He's got plenty of time to damage Jeff Monson. Right now, he does not want to be underneath him.
How many of these shots can Monson take, though, Randy?
Well, and how much energy is Jeff spending hanging on to that leg from down there? I mean, he's incredibly strong.
Tim will take the stall. Tim will take it back on the feet.
And Jeff's got to be having some questions about now. 2 good double leg shots and no luck.
Sprawl has to be the first word in Sylvia's vocabulary since he knew he was fighting Monson.
Absolutely. And you can obviously see that he's trained for this fight. He's prepared for this opponent. Interesting things on Jeff's feet. They have some rubber sewed to the bottom of almost a stocking or a cut-off stocking, and I know that's for grip so that he can drive through his double leg. Certainly not to protect his ankles. He's not a kicker. It's definitely for grip.
Tim so far sizing up Jeff Monson pretty well. He's told me bending forward more with the left knee. Good sprawl again. Sylvia avoids another takedown.
Tim is very diligent here, being very smart.
Remember I said, Randy, all about the sprawl early until he thinks Monson starts to lose some energy. Then he's going to try to punish him on the takedown opportunities, the takedown attempts, if you will. And Tim doing a great job of avoiding a takedown here halfway through round number 1. Remember, it's a title fight, so this fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
As Tim continues to defend the takedowns, Jeff's going to start to have doubts as to whether he can take Tim down. He's going to slow down. He's going to get tireder, and that's when Tim can step up and be more aggressive with his striking.
And Randy, never say never, but if he can't take him down, it's doubtful that he's going to take away his belt. Good jab, though, by Monson. Sylvia can take a punch. We saw that against Arlovsky.
Absolutely, and this is what Jeff has to do. He has to engage, throw some punches, give Tim something else to think about, and then set up his shot. Now he's trying to dive in from the outside, giving Tim plenty of time to react and sprawl.
What is now physically frustrating and draining is soon going to be mentally frustrating for Monson. He's 0 for takedown attempts here in round number 1. Eddie Bravo in the octagon with us. He will help us score our championship fights tonight. A lot of Monson supporters here in Sacramento.
Little raspberry on the left eye of Jeff Monson from that stiff jab of Tim Sylvia. Tim keeping it simple, nice straight punches, using a lot of ones. Occasionally throwing in the 2.
Yep, and no 5 or 6s. No legs coming right now, baby.
Absolutely not. Can't afford to be posted on 1 foot. He will definitely get taken down.
Like I'm learning my numbers?
I like that.
So far, so good. Monson can knock people out, though.
He's a very powerful guy.
Let's throw.
I'd like to see Jeff Monson fake a shot and come with a punching combination, an overhand right or a left hook. Get Tim guessing as to whether he's going to shoot or throw a punch.
One thing that is interesting to note is that you lose power when you are punching up. So Monson may think body. Oh, he caught him there, though, with a right. Good job done by Monson, but you do lose a little power, Randy, as you know, when you're punching up so high. High kick by Sylvia, and a good round number one.
At the buzzer, we see the first kick of the fight.
Monson stood very tall in the stand-up game the latter part of that round number one.
Perfect plan. You're doing it perfect.
He held his own.
The whole time.
Munson held his own, landed some good strikes, hit, and I think if he can keep Tim guessing, he's going to be more effective with the takedown. Can't telegraph his shot.
And then when he's looking for the face, establishing that double jab, then come with your cross hook.
When you got him flattened out on the ground, you can hammer fist his body if you can.
Hey, you look good. Just
Great
keep it moving.
first round in our heavyweight title fight.
Hey, fucking title.
Coming up still tonight, our main event of the evening. Welterweight championship between Hughes and St-Pierre. Eddie Bravo, your thoughts on round one?
I thought Tim Sylvia did an excellent job keeping the fight up. I mean, it doesn't look like Jeff Munson's going to be able to get the fight to the ground based on that first round. Tim Sylvia landed a couple big shots. Looks like there's a little mouse on Jeff Munson's left eye. 10-9, Tim Sylvia.
Eddie, thank you very much. Round two of our scheduled five-minute rounds. Now let's see at what point Sylvia thinks about punishing Monson on those attempts to take him down. He promised no kicks until the second or the third. Sylvia, the big man, Monson, the little guy. Both powerful, both champions in their own right.
Tim moving forward a little more now.
Monson, absolutely.
Tim moving forward a little more now, putting a little more pressure on Jeff Monson. That's a little riskier, moving towards the wrestler. It's a little easier for him to change levels and get in there. Nice sprawl by Tim Sylvia.
Monson trying to come over the top. Monson really doesn't look that uncomfortable in the stand-up game.
No, he's actually improved a bunch here. Looks much more comfortable, much more relaxed than I've seen him before.
Well, you say what you will about the dynamic fighters that come out of the Miletich camp, but the American top team is producing right now some of the greatest fighters in the world as well.
They've got some great fighters in a great camp, and Jeff has moved back to the Tacoma area and started his own top team there in the Tacoma Olympia area. Got a great little crew of fighters up there in a good school.
In your old neck of the woods.
Let's go, come on.
Sylvia trying to push forward. Tim has gone the distance before. He did it in his title defense against Andrei Arlovsky.
Seeing Jeff getting a little weary here. He's flinching a little bit off of Tim's combinations. Tim needs to double that jab up, like Pat was saying in his corner. There's a nice single leg attempt. Flattened him out. Man, Jeff is strong. He pulled himself in with this single leg.
Punishing the legs a little bit is Sylvia. And come on back up, Snowman. Sylvia with the long reach. Monson actually worked in his, he worked some
nice left hand by Tim.
Had a boxing glove on a PVC pole, very long for Monson to get used to that reach, to duck under and try to counter. Got to keep the head moving here, Jeff Monson.
A nice short little left hook.
Tim's straight. You know what? For a big man that you said that doesn't look the most athletic in the world, he has very technically strong striking skills.
Absolutely, and with a guy at 6'8" who's rangy like that, that's exactly what he wants to work on. It's a perfect thing for his body type to be strong in.
See the eyes of Jeff Monson there, a look into the corner, the frustration with the multiple failed takedown attempts.
The doubt is starting to creep in. We're seeing a left hook straight right now from Tim, starting to set up his combinations. See if he starts using the jab more effectively.
Great combination. Good defense that time by Monson. Heavyweight title fight. Mike Goldberg, the natural Randy Couture. Our fine broadcast crew here from the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Glad to be with you tonight. Sold out ARCO Arena, UFC 65, Bad Intentions.
Big overhand attempt by Jeff Monson, didn't land. Again, I think he's got to be willing to throw his hands at least, give Tim something else to think about to set up that shot. Crowd again trying to encourage Jeff Monson.
A lot of fans here on the West Coast. Lots of Sylvia fans, though, as well.
On the field, guys. Let's go.
McCarthy urges on the action. 1 minute remains in round number 2. Not nearly the amount of takedown attempts by Monson here in round 2.
He slowed down a little bit. You can see that doubt kind of creeping into his face.
Randy, he cannot give up that game plan, though, can he?
Oh, absolutely not. I think that's the key to victory for him, is to get this fight on the ground. But what has he had? 5 takedown attempts now, and he's been very unsuccessful, not even close. And I mean, there's no way that can't affect you psychologically.
How much energy does it take to sprawl? Let's take away the question from Monson. How about Sylvia? Can he be worn down by consistently and constantly having to sprawl?
You know, he's reacting very well. He's getting his legs back. He's bringing all his weight down on Jeff. I don't think it's spending a lot of energy for him. His reactions are quick. I don't think it's bothering him at all. Nice right hand by Tim. Set it up with the one and brought that right.
Oh, Tim's starting to feel it now.
He's starting to get into the zone.
Tucked under by Monson.
Again, reacts very well.
Final seconds of round number 2. And Sylvia's confidence continues to grow.
Hey, perfect. That's what we want. Keep it up. Tim, don't keep your jab out. That lets us know how far to shoot from. Don't leave the jab out straight. Got to start throwing. Let's go. Hey, you're doing good. Don't listen to him. Hey, listen. Listen. You stay right here and can. It's time now. He's looking at that jab and he's parrying a lot. So take the 1, come with the 3, then the 2, right? Okay.
Center of the ring, or push it against the cage.
Yeah.
He's trying to back you up. He's trying to back you up with the jab, Jeff. He wants to get you against the cage, and then he's going to try and unload on you, okay? The minute he starts to combo jab, drop.
Eddie Bravo, your thoughts on round 2?
Well, the first round was really close, but this round I see Tim Sylvia slowly pulling away. You know, unless Tim Sylvia totally gasses, which he's not known for, I don't think Jeff Monson's going to get the takedown tonight. I think slowly we're going to see Tim Sylvia pour it on. 10-9, second round, another one for Tim Sylvia.
Josh Berkman in attendance here tonight.
The People's Warrior.
There you go, very nice. The Snowman and the Maniac. Tim Sylvia, Jeff Monson, round number 3. Heavyweight title fight, belt on the line.
Nice jab by Tim.
Interesting point out of the Sylvia corner, Randy, when they talked about don't leave the jab. Oh, there's the takedown. First takedown of the night for Monson. And a good and powerful one in that.
Yeah, caught Tim stepping in with the jab, flat-footed a little bit, exploded through him and cut his legs out, put him right on his back. Let's see what Big Tim can do now.
Tim with the closed guard.
He's going to try and tie Jeff up and keep Jeff here in his closed guard and look for a stand-up.
Monson is world class in this position. As powerful a ground and pounder as there is in the sport. Trying to get that leverage, get that spacing so he can come down hard on Sylvia.
Reaches back and fakes like he's going to attack the feet to unhook the feet. Comes back with the big overhand right.
Finally took Sylvia, the champion, down early here in round number 3.
Monson punching away at the body. It looks almost like Jeff's unable to reach Tim's head from the guard position, and Tim can still extend his arms and hit Jeff in the head.
He's postured up, Randy, as you talked about.
Standing in the guard, trying to break this closed guard of Tim Sylvia. There it's open.
Now Tim's going to try to push away. And Jeff's going to try to gain better position. Tim does a great job of staying with Monson in his guard.
Absolutely. Looked like Tim might push away and get up. Monson back on him. Tim back to the closed guard.
First time we have seen Monson in a controlling position, though.
Nice elbows from the bottom with Big Tim. Again, Monson trying to break the guard.
Tim's trying to push him off. Monson does not want to give up this position. Took him over 10 minutes to get here.
And I think that Tim has done his homework here. Worst case scenario training. He put himself in this position. Using those elbows from the bottom. He's marking Jeff's head up. Little blood from the nose, little blood from the top of the head.
And again with the reach advantage, Tim is the one who can deliver a huge elbow because he's going to have some leverage, some room to work.
6 foot long arms coming at you, even from the bottom, are pretty devastating. Jeff standing in the guard, trying to punch away.
Can hardly reach him. Tim doing a great job weathering the first monsoon storm.
Trying to kick away, look for Jeff to pass here. Jeff's gonna pass. Somebody's mouthpiece just fell out.
Side control now for the Snowman.
Watch for Munson to go to the north-south position. He likes this north-south choke. We saw him finish an earlier fight that way.
That was his win over Brandon.
Sylvia's up.
Looking for it. Looking to finish Sylvia. And Sylvia sneaks away. Still though in a bad position. Side control for Monson. This round belongs to the challenger.
Sylvia almost out. Munson snags his head, jumps to the guillotine. Tim has to roll to alleviate the pressure on his neck and goes back on the bottom in the cross-side position.
Sylvia wants to avoid that north-south. You can see Monson thinking about it again, Randy. Good elbows, even with great control by Monson. Looking to go north-south again.
As soon as he does, Tim goes to corner position, goes to his hands and knees. He's got to watch for the guillotine. He's got to watch for the guillotine here, Tim does. Munson bleeding from the nose and the head, from the elbows. Here's the guillotine attempt again.
Tim trying to get out of it.
Rolling out of it again. And Tim on top now.
Great job done by Sylvia on top in a north-south.
Nice reversal by Tim. We'll see if Tim stands up. He's going to stay down on the ground here. Amazing. Pushes away. Now he's going to stand up.
And Sylvia is back on his feet.
Going to have the cut checked. One of those elbows cut Jeff pretty badly on his right eye.
What a job done by Tim the Maniac Sylvia.
Weathers the storm on the ground, avoids the submission, avoids 2 guillotines, scrambles back to his feet, manages to land some damage from the elbows from the bottom. Big mouse and a nice cut on the right eye of Jeff Munson. We're gonna let him go.
Good, let's go.
Monson is fine.
Go.
See if Tim turns it up now.
23 seconds remains in round 3. The first round that will go the way of Jeff Monson. Unless he gets knocked out in the next 13 seconds.
Big right hand.
Wow, that's got to give Tim Sylvia some serious confidence.
Obviously done his homework and spent some time on his back.
Big knee, and that rocks Monson. Monson goes down, but the round comes to conclusion. What a round number 3.
Woo! Come here, come here. Jeff.
You're doing everything perfect. Don't get too excited and try to finish too early. Just keep what we're doing. We're doing everything perfect. Stay relaxed. Just keep picking them apart.
You can't go more rounds. Just listen to me. Let me give a hey, listen. You can go more rounds. Listen. I'm okay. Give me water, man. Water. Give me some water. What I'm saying, Jeff, look. You can take him down. We can work on the ground. We can even work on the body shots right now. Move your body.
Jeff doing a great job going for the guillotine. Big Tim rolling to alleviate the pressure. And he rolls so hard. He's so big and long. He's like a hang on to an alligator. He rolls all the way to the top position and ends up on top of Jeff Munson. I don't think anybody expected to see Tim Sylvia on top of Jeff.
Eddie Bravo.
Well, Jeff Munson finally did it and finally got the takedown. He even got the guard pass. His ground and pound wasn't that effective, but he did have 2 guillotine attempts, and even though Tim Sylvia turned it around there at the end, I think it was too late to win that round. I gave that round to Jeff Munson, 10-9.
Thank you, Eddie. So Monson wins his first round here of the 5 scheduled in the estimation of Eddie Bravo. Interesting, though, conversation in the corner of Jeff Monson when you heard his trainer saying, you can keep going, you can keep going? Was there doubt in the mind, cardio-wise, that Monson could continue?
Yeah, they almost like they sensed he wanted to quit or something, and maybe it was the cut that they were talking about.
Very much the case.
Not the psychology of Jeff Monson at this point, although I'm sure he's frustrated to get on top and not get the submission that he thought he would get.
Well, when you train all you have for hours and hours upon hours with one of the best jiu-jitsu men in the world in Jeremy Horn, you learn to defend submissions, and that's the one thing Tim Sylvia will tell you. He has learned so much from Jeremy Horn.
Absolutely. Why do you think Matt Hughes is as good a submission guy as he is right now, and submitting his last couple of opponents? Because of Jeremy Horn as well, I think. And again, you're only as good as your workout partners.
And you know what, Randy, we've said before that sometimes you learn submissions not to submit people, but to avoid being submitted. And that's kind of the case with Sylvia.
Double leg, nice sprawl. A little late on the sprawl, but still heavy enough to kind of crush Jeff Monson. And Tim Sylvia passes and ends up in cross-eyed position. So
2 rounds to 1 on Eddie Bravo's scorecard. Side control by 6'8", 265-pound Tim Sylvia.
Short, choppy elbows by Tim on top. Using his length and his weight to his advantage here on top of Jeff Monson. Short, little choppy elbows. Jeff Monson going for a reversal, ends up giving up the mount position, almost the mount, now half guard.
Sylvia is showing how versatile he has become. Because that fight against Arlovsky really never went to the ground. In fact, did it?
And everybody believes this is his Achilles heel, this is his big weakness, and he's showing some skills, some positions, some transitions, ability here on the ground that I don't think a lot of people expected.
He's lost only twice, to Frank Mir and Andrei Arlovsky. Both times he was submitted. Broken arm with Mir, and then Arlovsky got him in the ankle, but he rocked him first. So it was a submission that was set up by a heavy hand.
By a very heavy hand.
But Tim said he didn't want to go through all the rehab, so it's not that he tapped quickly, but he said, I can't have my ankle ripped up like I had my arm ripped up.
Americana attempt by Tim Sylvia.
Could he submit the submission specialist? That would be something to see.
The fact that he's on top, I mean, if you would have told me that Tim Sylvia is going to be on the top going for submissions against Jeff Monson, I would have said you're crazy.
Tim trying to get the better of the ground game here against Monson.
I'm not sure if we're just dealing with a very fatigued Jeff Monson, but we're not getting a lot of action, a lot of motion from the bottom here from Jeff Monson.
Well, we're definitely dealing with an extremely confident, more confident than ever Tim Sylvia.
He's a very heavy, very big guy to be having on top of you. Monson coming out the back door. Monson on top now, nice work. Just about the time you think there's no life left in him, he comes out the back door, working for the pass.
What a battle with the heavyweight title on the line. Mouthpiece. Can't tell which man's mouthpiece is on the mat right now.
That looks like Jeff Monson's mouthpiece, which again is a sign of fatigue. He spit his mouthpiece out.
If he can get the fight to where he wants it, Monson feels confident. But can he finish it where he wants it? Not yet. 4th round.
Second round in a row now. He's been here on the ground. Oh, triangle! Triangle by Tim.
Tim Sylvia.
Can he lock it in? It's not locked in.
Monson
for a triangle armbar.
Able to pull out. 15 seconds remains in round number 4. 10 seconds on the clock. What a battle between two of the greatest mixed martial artists in the world today.
Wow, that right eye is really swelling up in Jeff Monson. And what a round by Tim Sylvia. 2 submission attempts.
Come here.
Dominating on the top on the ground. Who would have thought it?
One more round. When you're in half guard on him, if you're there ever again,
He's trying to dig underneath you and tip you, right?
Nice job of Jeff Munson coming out the back door and getting back on top where he wants to be in this fight. But still ineffective on top even once he got there.
Don't leave your jab out there. Keep peppering him and move.
Don't lose him. You can submit him. Listen, you really can submit him.
Right around, Jeff, keep your mouth.
Both eyes are swollen and nearly closed.
He's taking some good shots from Tim Sylvia. Still in it.
We got a card.
There's no way you love this shit.
Jack, listen, you can really win.
Too tired.
Let's go. Hey, man,
Eddie Bravo.
Well, Jeff Munson got the fight where he wanted it. He was on top, but it was at the end of the round, the last minute, and it took a long time to get there. It came off a failed takedown attempt to like a guard pull. Tim Sylvia, you know, I'm giving Tim Sylvia the round based on the Americana attempt and the triangle attempt. The ground and pound from Jeff Munson at the end of that round was not enough to steal that round. 10-9 Tim Sylvia.
Fifth and final round.
I wonder how much this swelling is going to affect the vision of Jeff Munson here. Left eye swollen over. Right eye almost swollen shut from the bottom.
Let's go.
What a battle. What a gamer Jeff Munson is.
Oh, he's got a lot of heart.
We knew that coming in though, Randy.
Oh, big low shot. Stuffed by Tim. Nice sprawl by Tim.
Unbelievable job done with the sprawl.
North-south choke here attempt by Tim. Taking a page out of Munson's book. He's going to make Munson get up.
Yeah, now no more ground game. I think Sylvia feels that the fatigue has settled in to Jeff Munson. It's setting in at a drastic pace. Now he may swing for the fences.
Have to see if he sets up that high kick again.
Let's see if he kicks. Now that he's got Munson fatigued.
Well, and he's been on the ground with Munson, and he's got to have confidence that, you know, Munson didn't submit him, didn't even come close to submitting him, really. He's able to easily roll out of the 2 guillotine attempts that Jeff made.
Munson's tank is very close to empty, Randy. You can see it. You can see it in his legs. Sylvia almost appears to be fresh still.
Tim still giving Jeff quite a bit of respect. He's not going crazy, trying to be over-aggressive and finish this fight.
Sylvia could cruise to the finish and the title defense. He would rather not, though, I'm sure.
It's not really his style. I don't see him doing that, but he is being a little tentative. He's not being terribly aggressive here. He's backing up.
No reason to put yourself in a precarious situation here.
Time. This is a fight. You guys got to fight, all right?
There you go,
You got to get after it. Let's go. Come on.
Nice job, Big
John. Let's get it on. Let's go.
Big John's saying, all right, I had enough of this, guys. This ain't a waltz.
Nasty looking result of a waltz if it is one.
Yeah. I don't think Dancing with the Stars has seen anything like this.
Absolutely. Emmett didn't look like that when he was done winning. Doing his Cowboy teammates proud like Darren Woodson and many other great Cowboys watching UFC tonight. Munson trying to come over the top. Another great sprawl.
Nice sprawl. I'm surprised that Tim isn't stepping it up a little bit. It's smelling that, you know, Jeff might be closer to quitting here, to being done.
Well, it's one thing to tap. It's another thing to have mentally tapped. And we have seen fighters before that may have mentally tapped before the actual fight was over. And maybe that's what we're seeing a little bit here in the fifth from Munson. Because he got it into the position he wanted. But he got it in the position he wanted, Randy, and Tim was able to control that. And as you well know, unfortunately, that could very well be the beginning of the end mentally.
You gotta fight, gentlemen.
And I think if Tim stepped up and was more aggressive here, he may get Jeff to that point where he just gives it up. But Tim's being tentative. He's not pushing the action. He's not taking advantage of that potential situation.
No one thought he would beat Arlovsky once, let alone twice. And with those 2 wins, we see the most confident, and now we have seen the most versatile Tim Sylvia we have ever seen in the octagon. And he's still a young champion at 30 years old.
No, he's got a lot of years left in him. He's a hard-working guy, does a great job, diligent with his homework, studying his opponents.
And he's 30 seconds away from walking back out with what he embraces and admires the most in the world, and that is his UFC heavyweight belt. Gonna be under the bed of the Maniac in 15 seconds. Tim Sylvia will defend his heavyweight title. And it is all over. They go the distance. Sylvia wanted the dynamic finish, but he will take the end result. And that is retaining what he so dearly cherishes.
Tim, the conservative approach, coast the last round, lets the fight go. He knew he was in charge and in the lead.
Eddie Bravo.
Well, nothing happened in that round. We had a couple, 2 or 3 failed takedown attempts. It looked like Jeff Monson was just out of gas there. Maybe his eyes bothering him. Tim Sylvia didn't do much either, but, I gave him the round because he did land, maybe 10 pitter-pat shots. It looks like he was a little fatigued. Maybe he didn't want to take, any risk. So I gave, it's 49-46. Tim Sylvia regains the belt in my eyes.
Eddie, thank you very much. Great job. Eddie Bravo seeing all but 1 round going to Jeff Monson. Shoney, Mr. International Carter in the house tonight. Shoney will fight again in the UFC. What a great showing. What a fine entertainer he was on The Ultimate Fighter 4. There's the light heavyweight champion, Chuck the Iceman Liddell. With Mike Bibby in the house tonight. Tremendous hoopster. Spurs and the Kings tomorrow here at ARCO. Tonight it's all about the UFC though. The Kings' own Mike Bibby here tonight to see the UFC. A disappointed Jeff Monson. And you can tell he knows the result is forthcoming. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Hector Hernandez scores the contest 50-45. Alejandro Rochin scores it 49-46. And Richard Bertrand scores it 49-46. For the winner by unanimous decision and still the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the Maniac, Tim Sylvia.
He wins by unanimous decision. The Maniac remains the heavyweight champion. Former heavyweight champion, present heavyweight champion.
Tim, if you'd have told me I was going to see Tim Sylvia on top, trying triangle chokes and Americanas, I would have told you you're crazy. Tell me how you thought the fight went.
And north-south chokes too. I'm disappointed that I didn't finish him. Jeff came in really good shape, but my cornerman told me that I just went the distance, out jiu-jitsu, the best jiu-jitsu guy in the heavyweight division. So that's something to be happy about. I definitely thanks to Zions. My conditioning's so much better. I'm able to go 5 5-minute rounds with no problem. A lot of big thanks to my teammates, Steve, Ben, Mike, Sherm, Brad, Carl, all the guys back in Iowa. Helped me out getting ready for this fight because Jeff's one tough dude.
Talk me through this Mickey's replay up on the big screen here.
He had a front headlock on me. I was waiting for him to go for the guillotine. So I rolled through, was able to get my hips up a little quicker than his and went for that north-south choke that he likes. Tried to sink it in, but he doesn't have much of a neck, so it's kind of hard to choke him with that. I'm just working the guard game a little bit, throwing elbows. I'm a lot taller than him, so I was out of his reach, and I was able to throw the big strikes while using my guard. If he tried to break it like he's going to, I'm going to push off the hips and stand back up.
Ladies and gentlemen, your heavyweight champion, Tim Sylvia.
Coming up now, it is our main event of the evening. For the Welterweight Championship, Matt Hughes and George St-Pierre are set to meet again. They have both beaten BJ, both defeated Trigg, dominated Shirk, and destroyed many others. Tonight we have a matchup of the two greatest 170-pound fighters in the world. But tonight, does the presence continue to be Matt Hughes dominating, or will we look to the future? And will George St-Pierre leave as the new welterweight champion?
And now, everybody, I want you to listen to me.
George St-Pierre, times championship. That is, without a doubt, the top contender at 170 pounds.
I'm gonna go on my knees like that and ask the UFC management to give me a world title shot.
Oh, there we go.
Bam. Oh. Please, I want the belt so bad. Give it to me.
What athleticism and power by George St-Pierre. I believe Sean Shirk has a broken nose. His nose is a bloody mess.
I fought Hughes the first time. He beat me fair and square. But now I'm a lot better than I was when I fought him the first time. And I want a rematch against him. So please give it to me.
That's it. Matt Hughes has defeated Royce Gracie. This fight is dangerously close to being stopped. It is all over. Matt Hughes remains the welterweight champion.
I knew that I'd lost the first 2 rounds, but that meant I had 3 left over, so I knew I had a chance.
You finally vindicated yourself in beating the only man to take your title. What is next for you, Matt?
You know, George is next in line, so let's go.
I'm very glad you won that fight, Matt. But I'm not impressed by your performance.
That's his opinion. It might stink, but it's his opinion.
After I watched BJ and George, I said I wasn't impressed by either one of them. Then he jumps in the octagon and says the same thing to me.
What I said to Matt Hughes was true. I was not impressed by his victory.
He can't think of anything else to say but what I said to him.
The mistake I did is to say that in front of 5 million pay-per-view viewers and all the crowd in the arena.
How many weeks later, and I've not even thought about it, and he's still bringing it up, trying to defend himself. So it's pretty obvious I'm in his head.
I respect him. I respect his skill. I respect him as a man, but I'm not afraid of him.
There's so many variables that are going to be different this time. We're both different fighters than when we fought last time.
When I fought Matt Hughes the first time, I remember in the stare downs, I couldn't even look him in the eyes because I was too impressed. I was fighting my idol. I was fighting a guy that, for me, it was impossible to beat.
He made a mistake. It doesn't change anything to whatever he thought going into the fight.
Do the fan want to see me fight for the title? I begged the UFC so many times for it, and now it's my chance, and I'm not gonna let it go.
Let's get it on. Come on.
And here we go again. All right, Joe Rogan has said to us many times, there's no such thing as unbeatable fighter. But right now, is Matt Hughes pretty close to unbeatable?
Man, he's looked that way, but I think we're going to find out tonight. He's dealing with one of the most dynamic fighters in the UFC.
Interestingly enough, I had a long conversation with George St-Pierre this morning. He said he feels going into this fight that Matt Hughes has disrespected him. And because of that, he still respects Hughes, but doesn't honor him as his hero anymore. He said in the stare down, he's going to look right through his eyes, and he's going to tear right through him.
Well, I think that could be a very important psychological piece of this. I think in the first fight, George was younger. He wasn't as good a fighter as he is now. And psychologically, he looked up to Matt Hughes. Maybe that mystique is gone now. He certainly technically hung with Matt Hughes until right at the end with the submission. But it's going to be interesting tonight to see how it goes.
We truly have a matchup of number 1 against number 2. And the winner will walk away with the welterweight belt as George St-Pierre is set to fight the longtime champion Matt Hughes. could not fight Matt a few months ago because of a pulled groin tendon. He backed out of the fight due to injury. Matt respected that. Matt avenged his loss to BJ Penn. And now the best ever GSP is set to enter the octagon for the rematch and the title shot that he so desperately has wanted.
GSP is big coming into this fight. He cut 15 pounds the day of weigh-ins to make weight. And so you know he's blowing back up, and he's going to be big tonight, which could be a key with the power of Matt Hughes.
You spent a ton of time with him during the Ultimate Fighter 4. How much truly has George St-Pierre grown up?
He's a very, very dynamic fighter, a very, very hard worker. I don't think anybody works harder than he does. He's just a super nice guy, fun to be around, very respectful. The comment in the fight against BJ Penn was kind of surprising to me that he stepped up and said, I wasn't very impressed with your victory.
Very much out of character for George St-Pierre. He says he apologized immediately.
You know, and Matt's made a big deal of that since then and not kind of let George forget it. And then that may actually work in George's favor. It's kind of irritated George that Matt keeps bringing it up and keeps, going on about that. And it's kind of ruined some of the hero worship that George had for him.
Well, it has often said, to be the best, you must beat the best. And Matt Hughes is simply the best ever in the welterweight division. Escorted into the octagon by his twin brother Mark, a great wrestler as well, the longtime welterweight champion, Matt Hughes. 9-1 in UFC title bouts, 7 title defenses, 5 consecutive successful defenses early in his career. His only title fight loss to BJ Penn. He has been working diligently on his stand-up for nearly 2 years now. The last Canadian champion was Carlos Newton. Hughes has beaten Newton not once, but twice. And now it is Hughes and St-Pierre. So relaxed. Always is Matt Hughes. It's like he's got a secret, Randy.
Very, very calm, very confident. The consummate professional. Out here to do his job.
George St-Pierre has been in the deep end of the pool. Tail of the tape for our main event of the evening is brought to you once again by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Zions. the champion, the American, 33 years old, 8 years the elder of the French-Canadian challenger, Georges St-Pierre. Everything else is virtually even. For the official introductions of our main event of the evening, we turn it over once again to the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC Championship bout is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission with Armando Garcia chief. Our judges at Octagon side are Marcos Rosales, Richard Bertrand, and Alejandro Rochin. And our lead doctor is Dr. Van Levens. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon is Big John McCarthy. This event is sponsored by Zions Energy. Zenergy, great taste, extreme energy. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC. Toyo Tires, driven to perform. And visit Punishment Athletics at PA99.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Two UFC warriors have now entered the Octagon to go to war for the second time to see who will leave the champion. And now, live from the sold-out ARCO Arena here in Sacramento, California, it's time! This fight is 5 rounds for the UFC Welterweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, the challenger fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist who holds a professional record of 12 wins with 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Georges St-Pierre. And now introducing the UFC champion, fighting out of the red corner. This man is an MFS elite fighter. He holds a professional record of 42 wins with 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Hillsboro, Illinois, he is considered to be the most dominant welterweight fighter in UFC history. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the reigning, defending UFC welterweight champion of the world,
All right, gentlemen, it's for the UFC Welterweight Championship. I gave your instructions to your dressing room. Do I have any questions from the challenger? Any questions from the champion? Big hands. Fight clean, fight hard, fight fair. Let's go.
He definitely stared him down.
Well, I've been waiting for this for a long time since Georges St-Pierre was on his knees in the Octagon, begging, give me a shot at the title.
And here it is tonight. Georges St-Pierre, Matt Hughes, for the Welterweight Championship.
Here we go. You ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on.
Big John McCarthy gets us started. Round number 1. Fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Matt has greatly improved his striking skills. The chant of USA for the longtime American champion against the French-Canadian tonight. Georges St-Pierre is loved by all in his home country of Canada and tons of American fans, especially as he has gained the popularity on the Ultimate Fighter 4.
George doing a nice job of moving, changing the angles.
Georges St-Pierre is one of the greatest athletes that has ever been in the Octagon.
Very, very dynamic athlete.
Nice straight, long punches by George.
High kick and versatile with his striking. Good leg kick, a smile on Hughes' face.
Very quick, he mixes things up very well. Matt also doing a good job. Throwing some nice combinations, countering well. Landed a couple kicks of his own. That nice little left inside kick and overhand right.
We've gone from USA to GSP. George St-Pierre in the blue trunks. Matt Hughes in the camouflage trunks.
George using his long range very well.
Matt, he really snaps a hip. Spinning back kick. Remember, he landed with that in the first matchup in 04, but didn't follow up. Might have caught him a little bit low, so a little show of class by both fighters. There might have been a war of words, Randy, but these guys still dearly respect each other.
Absolutely.
A lot of it was gamemanship by Matt. He was trying to get into George's head.
Well, I think gamemanship by George, too, to step up and say what he said in the ring as well. He's like, hey, I don't, you know, I'm here to take your title.
Absolutely. It's the thing he dearly most wants.
Nice stiff jab by George St-Pierre. Really using his range well.
Oh! Caught Matt inadvertently.
The left kick, and sometimes that left kick will slide up the leg and hit you in the groin.
Yeah, Matt said that was square. GSP apologized immediately.
Your leg is slipped up, you all right?
I think it looked like it's just George's toes grazed Matt.
There you go.
Because I could see the shin on the thigh, and it looked like the ankle came around and the toes grazed him.
Yep, inadvertent for sure. Oh, did he catch him again? Now we got to be careful.
Time. Your corner.
That one did some damage.
Listen to me. Your foot is hitting here and it's sliding up. Okay? It's not that you're intending to do it. I understand that, okay? But you got to make it a clean slide and not let it come up, okay? Yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
Again, the shin bone is hitting the thigh where George is aiming, but the ankle is coming around and whipping Matt in the cup. It's the toes and the foot that is actually doing the damage, but the shin and where the kick is intended is landing where it's supposed to.
Matt can take all the time he needs here to recover.
No foul. It's not an intentional foul. But George can't afford to land another one of these errant shots, or there will be a yellow card. There will be a foul.
And Randy, now do you get into the head of George St-Pierre that he can't throw that kick anymore, though?
I don't know that it's going to bother him. I know he knows he didn't do it intentionally.
Matt tried to catch
that. May be exactly what he's trying to set up is the higher kick. He likes to throw that high kick, the kick to the body or the head with that left kick.
St-Pierre coming across with a hook. Matt has not thought about a takedown yet. Uppercut by Hughes.
There was a left kick there again. He's coming back to it. I mean,
that's good. Oh, caught him. Now trying to clinch.
Nice work by George.
Matt keeps smiling after the exchanges, though. It's going to take a lot to take that belt away from Matt Hughes.
George is landing the better shots. The nice long jab, following it with the overhand right. Matt gets hurt. He goes to look to bend for the takedown. And George goes to the clinch. I mean, George is doing a very nice job here. Nice takedown by George. Catches the foot. Takes Matt down.
George St-Pierre has sparred with Nate Marquardt and Keith Jardine, Rashad Evans to get prepared for this battle tonight.
Passing to half guard, landing a couple of nice shots from the top position. Matt hanging onto the arm. Nice punches. Matt scrambling up. Nice
knee by St-Pierre.
Nice work by George St-Pierre here.
Great job done by the challenger here in round one.
So quick and elusive. Moves his head, moves to the angle so well.
Matt peeks up to the scoreboard, Randy, checks out the clock. 35 seconds remaining in round number one. St-Pierre coming in with a jab, moving back out quickly. Great footwork by George St-Pierre. They both kick at the same time.
There's the attempt to take down by Matt. Nice double underhooks. Matt trying to, GSP doing a great job of scrambling out of that takedown.
What a job done by George St-Pierre. We rarely see Hughes get his arms around someone and they not go down.
Very nice job by George to counter, scramble out of that double underhook. And the power of Matt Hughes.
Oh, Superman punch caught him. Hughes is stumbled.
Matt Hughes is hurt.
And the round is over. Round is over.
Unbelievable. Almost thought John was stopping the fight there. Barely heard the bell with the roar of the crowd.
Wow. He opened him up. Absolutely dominant round number 1 by George St-Pierre.
You can remember that. Work the jab, it's working. He's trying to come over the top with the right. You throw the jab, he tries to come over with the right.
Let's take a look at this replay. We're going to see the takedown here. Superman punch right in the head. Nice shot by George. Followed by a nice little left hook. Very nice. Matt Hughes goes to a knee.
That was all George St-Pierre. He landed jabs, he landed leg kicks, inside leg kicks, several right hands, even a spinning back kick. But what marked that round was that left hook at the end of the round. It's all George St-Pierre. I don't think Matt Hughes is going to be able to take him down for a while.
Remember, the first fight ended with 1 second remaining in the first round. The irony there would have been amazing. What may have truly been the most impressive part of round 1 for St-Pierre was when he got bear hugged by Hughes, he didn't go down.
Absolutely. We have not seen anybody stop Matt Hughes' takedown abilities, with the exception of maybe BJ Penn for the first 2 rounds, but then, you know, he shot his wad trying to do that.
I'll tell you one thing. Neither guy's gonna, yeah, I understand. You know, Rogan's not here, so you got to say something like that. I get it. Just to let Joe know we're thinking of him. Oh, saves the foot.
So dynamic, this guy. So many different tools in his toolkit.
And so much stronger mentally than he was at the War of 04 at UFC 50 when they first met.
Oh, nice stiff jab.
Hero worship is gone. Caught him again.
He's keying off Matt's jab, slipping outside and throwing a long jab of his own. It's,
big kick! Down goes Hughes!
Oh, he's hurt!
St-Pierre trying to finish it!
He's big time hurt!
With the elbows! It is over! George St-Pierre is the new welterweight champion!
Unbelievable shot! By both guys. Take a look at this replay. Here's the end of the fight. Nice long jabs by George. Kick to the head, right to the side of the head.
As Matt was thinking takedown.
Ground and pound, landed some big shots. It wasn't until he went to the elbow here on the top that John saw that Matt wasn't defending himself.
What a difference from the first fight. When he stuns Hughes, he goes in for the finish, unlike in the first matchup, Randy.
Shin bone right to the head.
And the torch is passed tonight here in Sacramento. Overcome with emotion, George Rush St-Pierre. Tears of joy and now a huge smile on the face of the new welterweight champion. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John McCarthy has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 25 seconds of the second round. For the winner by knockout, and now the new UFC Welterweight Champion of the World, George Rush St-Pierre.
George Rush St-Pierre is the champion. Here's Randy.
George, can you give us any idea what you're feeling right now?
I come from very far. You know, I had a very hard way up here, and wow, it's just amazing. I'm so surprised. I'm so happy. I can't even like cry. You know, I can't describe my feeling right now. It's too much.
George, very dynamic on your feet. It looked like you had great punching and kicking combinations, a couple of low blows. I know they were unintentional. Tell us how you prepared for this fight.
My God, first, I prepared. I had the best training partner in the world, and I have the best trainer as well. So when you put everything together, you have a good MMA fighter, you know. I just want to say to Matt to keep his head up. He's the best fighter by far that I've fought so far. And keep your head up, man. We're going to fight again. So don't let this loss put you down. Come back, man.
George, can you talk me through the end of the fight here in this Mickey's replay on the big screen?
I knew I had a little advantage standing up. I wanted to impose my jab. Matt improved his stand-up a lot. I was very surprised. But I knew he was worried for my leg kick. So I saw it. So I decided to fake a leg kick. I looked down and I kick it in his head. So I practice a lot this move in training. Look, I look down. He expect me to kick down. Boom! I hit him on the head. And now this is it. He was out.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new welterweight champion of the world, George St-Pierre.
Thank you very much, everybody. So, I just want to say it's the best moment of my professional career. And maybe I'm not from US. I'm not an American. I'm not from USA. But I would make everything possible to keep this title in North American territory. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Pure class, George St-Pierre. Defeating tonight the greatest welterweight champion of all time, Matt Hughes.
We make peace.
Matt Hughes.
You're by far the best fighter I've fought, and if I can do just that 50% of what I've made, I would consider myself like.
Matt, I know this isn't the way you expected it to go down. Can you tell us what's going through your mind right now?
No, I can't. I really don't know what to say. I didn't think it would go down like that, but to be honest, I just looked at the replay and I didn't even know it was a kick that hit me. I thought it was a punch. So I'll go back and think about things, and we'll see what's my next step.
Matt, you've been a dominant force in the welterweight division. I know you're a true champion. You'll be back here, buddy. Matt Hughes, ladies and gentlemen.
Matt Hughes and George St-Pierre. I have an inclination that they will fight again.
Man, I can't believe.
There he is, the new welterweight champion of the world, George Rush St-Pierre.
Oh, are you serious? In Montreal? Oh!
Truly a defining moment of what could be a long reign at the top. And to be the best, he has defeated the best of all time, impressively and dominantly, winning just a minute and a half into round number 2. Talking to UFC President Dana White. A perfect night tonight here in Sacramento. Beautiful ARCO Arena was jamming, and it was sold out. The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Frank Fertitta III, Lorenzo Fertitta, and UFC President Dana White. Our supervising producer is Craig Borsari. Director of Production, Tim O'Toole. Great job done in the truck tonight by our producer, Bruce Connell. Our director, Anthony Pasquale Giordano. And as always, Alan Connell brings it all together, and Joe Silva gives us the greatest fights in the world. Debuts were made tonight, impressively. by men like Drew McFedries, who outboxed the Italian boxing champion Alessio Sakara and wins for the first time in the octagon. Title on the line in the heavyweight division, Monson and Sylvia. It went 25 minutes, and there was no doubt in anyone's mind that although the takedowns were successful, Sylvia remains the champion. And then, in our main event of the evening, we pass the torch to what was once described as the future of the division. And that is none other than George Rush St-Pierre. One belt goes back to Iowa, the other goes to Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Because tonight is the night that St-Pierre rushed and took away what Matt Hughes has owned for so long. Dominating the striking, and finally, dominating the most dominant champion in UFC history. The new champion is St-Pierre. For my partner, Randy the Natural Couture, Mike Colbert saying so long from Sacramento. Until next time, we see you right back here inside the Octagon. So long, everybody.
Hands on hips. Good. Good.
I was supposed to fight Matt Hughes September 23rd, but I got injured. I pulled my groin muscle, so I have to pull out the fight. J-Pen jumped in. It was a very sad decision that I had to make because I thought I would not have another chance for the title, but I have one right now, and I'm the more happy guy on earth. Thursday, I'll do a little workout, pad work, and boxing and Muay Thai, and also some drill on wrestling takedown and wrestling takedown defense, jiu-jitsu as well, specifically to counter Matthew's techniques.
There you go, uppercut hook. Back to the jab. Very simple, very simple. Block it, turn it, uppercut hook.
Victor Vargatsky is my kickboxing Muay Thai trainer.
Make him feel like a truck and get bruised every hit. It's all in the head.
I'm very lucky. I'm surrounded by incredible people. Not only my training partner and trainer, also my friend, and they have a lot to do with my success. We're together, you know. We're like brothers. We're like a family. I feel great right now. I feel like a future world champion.
Come on, last punch.
Well, I think George has changed a lot as a fighter, and I think I've changed even more. Since that fight, I've been really submitting everybody. Things have really been going good for me. My training's going great, great coaches. I think I've become a lot better fighter from where I was than George has, to be honest. Just with my striking, being comfortable on my feet, and my submissions. You know, I'm past the point now to where I'm looking for a tomato can. I'm looking for an easy fight. I'm looking for challenges. You know, I've had 46 fights as a pro now, and I'm looking for tough fights, and I think George is going to do that.
That's the hook. That's the one, man. One more, man, one more. Come on, get two.
Thursday night, I'm about 8 pounds over. I'll have about an hour workout. The more I get off tonight, the less I have to get off tomorrow morning. So hopefully go to bed anywhere from 4 to 5 pounds over, wake up tomorrow morning and shed the rest, hopefully on a bike. If I don't, I've got out of the custom of sauning. If I can do it all on a bike, I'd rather do it that way. It comes off faster and it's easier for me mentally to get off on a bike.
30 seconds!
It's definitely very important to have Matt next to me. He lives with me and we train together. And he's kind of a role model. Don't tell him I said that. But he's kind of a role model to me. I kind of want to, you know, be an example after him. You know, I'm very fortunate with this fight. You know, everyone thinks that I'm going to win. You know, on paper, it looks like I'm a huge favorite. And I suppose you could say I am. It's easy for me to stay grounded, being in Iowa. As long as I keep winning It makes the team look better. It makes the up-and-coming guys do better. You know, they're like, wow, Tim's really busting his ass. He might have an easy fight, but he's still training hard. And that's just what I want to do. I mean, those guys are my family, and I want to look good for them and my family back in Maine and stuff too. You know, I just want to keep on winning, one fight at a time. But until I retire, that's when the belt's going to be given up. I've definitely been working more on takedown defense than usual. I have my great teammate, great friend, Steve Russ, wrestled for Illinois, wrestled with Jeff Munson. We're just working on every field of taking me down. I'll probably work out for about 40 minutes tonight, eat afterwards, go to bed, get about 10 hours sleep, get up in the morning, and check my weight. Right now I'm underweight, so I'm in a good situation.
You guys know how to play rummy? Gin rummy? My brother and I were the champs. Tell him, Mark.
Two-timer.
It's like I got the touch. See, there's my hand. What do I need? Right there, baby.
He gets 11.
What's up, Stevie?
Feel good?
Yeah, 3 over. I want to try and make weight by 10, so I'm absolutely confident I've made weight. I'll go up, take a shower, try and take a little nap, and at 1 o'clock we'll go to the arena. So that's the plan for this morning.
Yeah. I thought I would be a little bit heavier, but that's good. That's all good. It's my best cut so far.
172.5.
Yeah.
You're gonna beat that just walking downstairs and walking up. You're done.
You know, it's called rip somebody apart.
That's it. Checkmate.
6, 7, 8. We bet that the guy who would lose at chess, he have to do 100 push-up, and he lost. Hey, 10 more and you're done. 10, that's it.
We see a different George St-Pierre every time we fight.
Got it.
The first time I fought Matt Hughes was fighting my idol. I was fighting the guy I always looking up to. But the reason why he beat me that night, it's not because of that. I lost against Matt Hughes the first time because I fought a better fighter than myself. I think I improved more than he did since our last fight, and I think it's this time it's going to be the good one for myself.
George to say that, you know, hey, I fought my idol last time, you know, that's why I lost, I don't believe that. So if he was fighting anybody else, he would have defended the armbar. That just doesn't make sense to me. I give credit to George. He is saying now that it wasn't so much that I was fighting my idol, you know, the better fighter won at the time, which could just mean that I was more mentally prepared than he was. I don't think people realize how mentally tough this sport and being probably any professional athlete is. A football player is lucky enough to where he's got a bunch of his buddies out on the field with him. You know, when I'm in that octagon, I'm pretty much all by myself. I get to hear my cornerman, but that's it. So if I can get in somebody's head and break them mentally, then that, you know, the fight just goes that much easier for me. George is a great guy, tremendous fighter, and I think he's going to have his day as a welterweight champion, but I don't think it's this week. He's still young. I think he's had, what, 13 fights now. He's just got to grow some more. I just don't think he's ready yet.
Are you fighting 2 more and you're done or what? No?
I'll fight more than that.
He's gonna fight forever. I'm pushing that octagon in a wheelchair.
She's not lying either. As long as I bring the paychecks home, she's gonna.
I'm pushing her in the leg.
To be honest, you know, retirement, that's an issue that I'll face here in maybe a couple years or something. But you know, it's not all about what I got to prove or this and that. To me, I fight because I love the competition. I want to provide for my family, and fighting seems to be the best way to provide. I still have a good time in there, you know.
Stop having a good time. That's when you have a good time.
When I go out there and start getting dominated by some of these younger guys and not being able to compete, then I'll be looking for the door.
Had a kind of a long and difficult career. You know, I started off with some losses early on, and you know, trying to make the transition from grappling to fighting, and Had some early UFC fights. Some of them didn't go that well. You know, Chuck Liddell, Rick Rodriguez. But, you know, I worked hard. You know, got with America Top Team, which is definitely beneficial. And it's just been persistence. And, you know, that's why I'm back here. And, you know, I wanted a title shot earlier than I got it. But, you know, in hindsight now, I think it's taken us long to be ready for it. To fight in the UFC is, you know, the biggest thing I could be doing. It's a Super Bowl of fighting. It's, you know, everybody knows that, you know, that's kind of the time, the limelight, the time that you get noticed for all the hard work that you put in. And to be able to fight in the UFC, especially fight for the title, is you know, a dream come true. And we just want to make the most of the opportunity. You know, we owe everything to the fans. I feel like I'm one of them because I do all the little shows and the little tournaments and stuff. And so I think I have maybe an extra connection with the fans and a lot of the fighters because I am out there every month doing some kind of little tournament or something like that. So, you know, I get to see it kind of in the blue collar level. So I'm very appreciative of the people that support me.
That's my 9-to-5 job, to train and to fight and sign autographs. That's what I'm supposed to do. So, you know, a lot of times when I was back in construction, did I want to get up on a scaffold and paint the friggin' I-beams? No, I didn't, but you had to do it. So it's just part of the game. I enjoy it. I enjoy the spotlight, and I enjoy being around a lot of fans. You know, they make it worthwhile.
You know, I think the heavyweight division in the UFC gets a little bit underrated. There's a lot of good guys coming up. You know, you have a defending champ, Mears, who's been champion before. We have Brandon Vera, who's undefeated, real tough guy. Myself, and obviously Tim Sylvia. And I'd put Tim Sylvia against anyone else in the world, Pride or anywhere else. And I think he might come on top.
The heavyweight division's in my hands. You know, it's what I want to do with it, I feel. It doesn't matter that Jeff's won 16 fights. Has it been top-level competition? No, it hasn't. It's been small shows. He's been in UFC 3 times, and to be honest with you, I don't think his opponents were that tough, and they weren't the striker that I am. He's in trouble tomorrow night. He really is.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the main event, fighting out of the blue corner, George! 169 pounds. Now coming to the scale, his opponents, the reigning UFC Welterweight Champion of the world, Matt Hughes.
170 even.
170 pounds. It's on tomorrow night. The UFC 65. Bad intention.
Got to weigh in finally, 170 on the dot. Didn't have to go cut weight, didn't have to take my shorts off even this time. So I've drank a good drink over there. I'm going to drink some water, get some food in me, have a good meal with my family and friends tonight. We've reserved somewhat of a restaurant, 40 plus people, and I'll be ready to go tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I'm ready to go right now.
Right now I'm gonna eat, drink, eat and drink and eat and drink and eat and drink and rest, and eat and drink and eat and drink and rest and fight and party after.
It's very important to be relaxed. I mean, you know, you got a lot of energy to put forth when you get in the cage. No need to waste any of that on outside of it, you know, so be calm, collective, and stick to your game plan. Every night we practice the game plan, and I feel very confident we're going to follow through and knock them out in the first round.
Be the last hand here, and we'll pack it up and go. I do need my Bible. I'll get it. Just remind me. 13 for you guys. I'm going to mark that down. Let me get my Bible. Mouthpiece, shoes.
I think the welterweight division's very healthy. I've been the champ for 5 years. If you look past me, there's BJ Penn, George St-Pierre. Some people are saying, after George and you win, what are you going to do? You know, and there's plenty of guys to fight in the welterweight division. Plenty of contenders.
I love competition. I love my job. I think it's the best job on earth. And no matter which sport I've been doing, even since I'm young, I always wanted to be the best. And my job is MMA, and I want to be the best fighter in the world. And I want to be also like one day to be recognized as, to be known as the best pound for pound in the world. And I think it's gonna happen pretty soon.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for your help, buddy. On fight day, I'm going to do a little bit in the morning, just to break a little bit of sweat, get the nerves out, eat well, relax, don't take any phone calls, and head over the arena, just put on my game face and think about the job at hand. At that time, it's time to go to work. Just got to get the guy on the ground, man.
Don't think about it as dire consequences. Don't think about it as, oh, I gotta do this. Just, that's what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
It's going to be one of my last ones.
You think about retiring?
Pretty soon, buddy.
How come? You don't enjoy fighting right now?
It's just a lot of time away from the kids, a lot of time, effort.
Just think about it. Really, you know what? Got the fighter in the back. It's just like the, what was it? The Dalai Lama says, live in the moment.
Yeah.
So, right, tonight, live in the moment.
The competition is what keeps me going. You know, this is the most difficult thing in the world that I could be doing is fighting, you know, and there's a lot of other sports I could, you know, attempt to do, but to me this is the most difficult one, and probably that's why I'm drawn to it. But, you know, it's a curse too, because I can't let it go. I can't stand to lose.
All three bosses in one place. Matt Hughes must be in the room.
On the prelim. How you doing, champ? Good luck, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Good luck. Good luck to all you guys.
Tim Sylvia is one of the most powerful strikers in the game today. He's got good leg kicks. I know he has good takedown defense as well. And the main thing about Tim is that he's a tough guy and he's a strong guy. And mentally, he's coming in prepared. He's in good shape. So he finds a way to win. He's a winner. So that's his biggest strength. He just finds a way to win. I'm not sure if Tim has any great weaknesses. He comes from Militech camp, so I know he does the groundwork. If you had to pick one stronger than the other, of course, his stand-up's going to be stronger than his ground game, and my ground game is my obvious strength. So I'd like to take the fight there at some point.
Some of Jeff's strengths is obviously his ground game, and he's a block. I mean, he's 5'9", 235 pounds. Strong dude, good wrestler, good submission skills. Obviously, his weaknesses, he doesn't like to get hit, and he is 5'9". I'm 6'8". That's a weakness because I'm so tall. If he's fighting a guy, 5'11", that's not a problem.
Coming into this fight, I thought I really needed to work on my stand-up.
That's it. Nice.
To get inside on Tim, I'm going to have to throw punches. I got to make him respect my stand-up. If I go out there and just try to shoot on him, I'm going to get kneed, I'm going to get knocked out, trying. So just trying to throw punches to make him respect my stand-up.
I match up against Munson so well is because of the size difference. He thinks he knows a little stand-up. That's going to go right out the window as soon as I hit him once. I'm a great striker. I've proven it time and time again. I can knock you out with knees, kicks, or my hands. I have a lot of weapons in my toolbox, and I plan on using all of them. Game plan is me to go out there and control the octagon and work my reach, big punches, use angles, and when the opportunity arises, I'm going to capitalize on it and knock him out.
Appreciate it, guys.
When I'm walking out to octagon, my main focus is to keep relaxed and to not worry about the fans, not worry about family, not worry about anything else in the world, because at that point it's time to go to work, and I have a job to do, and my job is to win a fight, not lose, and that's my only focus. Try to get away any distractions.
You get a little bit of butterflies, but the guys are behind you, they're patting you on the back and encouraging you and letting you know how hard you've worked, and you hear your music and you get so jacked up, and when that curtain opens, the fans are there screaming and hollering, and it's just like, wow, this is what I've been doing it for right here.
I think I match up very well with Matt Hughes because we're both very well-rounded. We both can knock out each other on the feet. We both can submit each other on the ground. The guy who's gonna win the fights, the guy who's gonna be able to impose his strategy.
George has kind of tailored his fighting towards me a little bit. He likes to throw his punches, and really he throws his punches to take people down. Then he gets on top of them and does damage there. So, I mean, that's what he's going to do. Now, the question is, can he take me down? And if he does take me down, can he hold me down?
Matt Hughes is very well rounded. He doesn't have a lot of weaknesses, but I think it's his stand-up.
I can say right now that, hey, I'm going to stand up with him, but it all depends on what happens in there. If I feel uncomfortable and take him down, then that's just the wrestler inside of me, you know, and it doesn't matter what I say now, you know, it's whatever happens in the octagon is what's going to happen in the octagon.
Matt Hughes, mentally, he never gave up. I think it's his biggest strength. To beat this guy, you have to really finish him, you know, he never give up. So I think this fight gonna be not only a question of skill, it's gonna be a question of who can take more. So it's gonna be a very physical fight.
I've just got that mentality, I don't care what it is, I'm not gonna quit. You know, and people know that, you know. You get a submission on me, you're probably gonna choke me out. You know, you're gonna choke me unconscious. You put me in a bad spot, you know, I'm not going to sit and freak out about it because I know there's a way out.
Use your elbows. There you go, Tim.
Don't try to. No, get out of there.
He's fine in north-south. Now you stand up.
Stand up.
No. Back up. What are you backing up for?
3 minutes left, Jeff. 3 minutes to be a champion.
You gotta go, Jeff. Come on.
3 minutes to be the world champ, Jeff.
When Bert comes in and tell us, George, you're next. A lot of things going on in my mind. I'm very nervous, you know what I'm saying, because you don't know what's gonna happen. I'm afraid. Not I'm afraid of Matt Hughes, I'm not afraid to die, I'm just afraid to not perform like I'm supposed to do. Because people who know me expect me to win, of course, but they expect me to fight like I'm supposed to. So I'm afraid at the same time, but I think that feeling gives me more, make me perform better.
We'll walk through the hallway, and the whole time I'm just mentally going through the fight. As soon as I hear my entrance music, I know that I'm about ready to walk in the octagon. Walk to the octagon, try and clap as many hands as I can, because there's always fans wanting their hands clapped, and try and keep on track with what I've got to do. I get to the octagon, give my cornerman all a hug, and then I'm ready to walk in the octagon.
I thought I had that key lock.
Yeah, dude.
You didn't have that elbow deep. We knew he was going to have a hard time knocking him out because he's going to try to take me down all the time. So it's kind of hard to commit to some heavy shots and knowing that he's going to come out there and try to take you down. I defended the takedown real well. You know, I had him hurt a couple times, my knees, you know, connected a few times, and almost finished him. But hey, I threw some good submissions on him. You know, I went for half a dozen submission attempts and was close on a couple. So, you know, the guys are encouraging me that my performance as well. So, it's all, man. I came home with the belt again.
I think they're gonna take him to the hospital. Either cracked a rib or pop some cartilage in there or something. So he's in some pain back there. But you know, he fought through it and he tried to implement his game plan and had Tim down twice and couldn't do anything with him. You know, and that's just mad respect to Tim for that. Tim, you know, trained hard and you know nullified Jeff's strengths. But he'll be all right and he'll be back.
Come on, Matty.
Come on, baby. Pressure.
It's the biggest achievement of my professional career. It's just amazing. I'm surrounded by the best trainer, the best training partner in the world, and I'm surrounded by very positive people in my entourage. My family, everybody got my back, and if all those people would not be there for me, I would not be here. I would not be a world champion today.
Oh my God, the doctor! Oh man, my shin is killing me. So what's happened is I was kicking him a lot in the leg, and I knew he was hurt there.
So I was looking up down to his leg and tried to make him believe I was going down to his leg. So he lowered, he put his hand down, and I come back in the head with my shin right on the carotid. And now he was finished, you know. So it was a good fight for me.
You know, I thought he kind of faked the low kick and hit me with a punch, is why I dropped my hand. I don't know if it was looked down or just that he didn't throw many high kicks. I thought it was going low, you know, so he deceived me somehow. But I'll have tape and I'll get to dissect it next week and see what's going on. I had real quick hips. Every time I touched his hips, they were away and it made me feel uncomfortable, you know.
Hey,
Yeah,
you don't have to explain anything to me.
You're right, that is all good.
Well, Mr. White is coming. I want to dress. I don't want him to see me naked.
Are you naked? Yeah.
It's going to be second time.
There's women back here for crying out loud.
How are you? Oh, God. They enjoyed the show. It was good.
Great fight. Is that his mom? She was the first one.
My dream come true, man. You know, if I win the belt, it's a big part. It's hard because, you know, I was not rich when I started my career. She helped me with the money and thing. You know, that's why the belt. It's my belt. You know, I wear it, but the belt I give it to her. You know.
I'll tell you what, the belt that we gave you tonight, give that to her right now, and I'll get you a new one.
You understand? C'est toi la ceinture, mommy. She's a real champ. She worked a lot for that, you know. She worked to allow me to train and everything. My God.
Boy, if I had to pass the title down to somebody for an amount of time, it'd be George.
I want to be the best welterweight champion of all time, and I will consider myself lucky if I can do like Matt Hughes and have like 10 or 11 title reign like he did. So I still look up to him, and I hope I'm gonna do well and be a good champion as he was.
Hey, I'm not retiring. I don't know how many fights I am. I know I'm 33 years old, and I've got years left in me.
I want to thank all my fans for the support. I want this belt for myself, but I want it also for you. And it's just the beginning. I'm your new champion right now, and I want to keep this belt home, you know, in North American territory.